Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
We are back! The third annual Pub Sports Radio Cappers Contest is ready for registration. 5 picks each week against the spread, and we battle for cash.
All picks lock. Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Top 10% gets paid out at the end of the season. Sign up right now at pubsportsradio.com.
Congratulations to last year's champions, Guillermo Zertucci and Sharpie, who were tied atop the leaderboard. But Jose, why don't we hear from our inaugural champion, Peter Loshak?
Yeah, last year, before the season started, Slaughter called me. He was like, could you not win it this year? And I was like, Jeff, anything. You don't even have to think about it. You know what I mean? So I did that. He hasn't called me so far this year.
Okay.
If he does, I'm not going to win it. If he doesn't, all bets are off, pal.
Oh, I like it.
All bets are off if I don't get that call. You know what I mean?
Wow, Pete. Thanks for your generosity.
I can't wait! September 5th, Thursday night is game 1, but your picks have to be in by Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We battle for infamy! We battle for the Cappers Contest Pub Sports Radio Championship. Upgrade your membership to Gold. You will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses.
Shout out to the gold members. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forward, Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well, and as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass here. Oh, look at Nuss Flush Allen bursting out here. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
And there's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy. 19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can. Kenny Can wants a piece of the pie. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can smoking mirrors. Director 97 home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one all coming down to the advantage.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! And Fanatical Jim! Fanatical.
Get 'em, Jimmy, where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty, I'm the cracking, we stacking. Chips, all of this, what I want, plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone, I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, who can produce, fade the juice, let loose.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, September 4th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Let's first take a look at our Cappers contest and who is in. It's a special day today. It's a special day today as, oh God, I barely have been sleeping. been doing a lot of gambling is what I've been doing. We have Jose's birthday. Young Jose. It's his birthday today, so we will be celebrating. Look at the Cappers contest. Ooh-wee. Now we have 3 more days, really. Thursday. Yeah, 4 more. God, I can't even think properly. I'm full of football action. I'm chock full of football action, and I'm very, very concerned with my Blue Jays action. You can see I'm not in my Loshak shirt. It was the Stampeders. If Dedrick Mills had played as I expected, I'd be sitting here in my Loshak shirt. But on Friday's show, I lost a unit. Sadly, it was that Stamps. It was all coming down to the Stamps on Monday, and that was a horrific. We have 45 entries. 45 entries to our Cappers contest. I think we get to 75. Let's still go for 100. We know a lot of people sign up late. Swiggy, Slaughter, Loshak, Big Show, Billy, Friedrich, Saturated, Ron Crawford, Jose, Clint, Ian Cameron, Jimmy the Bag, TJ, my mom, Mr. Vape. My mom's not Mr. Vape. Those are 2 different people. Kent Davies, Nuke Worker, Slam the Clostable. Love those 2 guys. Long time friends of ours. Ryan Thorson, Birdie, PSR Preston, Spenny, Penny Bombs, Nakara, MMA, Mikey Raw, Rushia, T. Crowley, Rodney Molina, Mr. Rodney Molina, the Dapper Capper, Super Unknown, Kong's Clips, the Sweaty Butcher, Sammy Calmer, Coach Sim, Guillermo Zertucci, last year's co-champion, Nate Dogg, 420, BG, Ramon Scott, Salty Pete, and Salty Pete also, and his company, Harbor Acres Cottages, is putting in $75 American a week over 18 weeks to pay out our perfect weeks. And if there's no perfect week, then 150 will be split the next week. Remember, last year there was 4 weeks in a row where we didn't have perfect weeks. So then 300 would have been up for grabs. 33 perfect weeks last year. Shout out to Harbor Acres Cottages. Salty Pete's in. Willie 11 Felony Cash Slaughter. Jeff Sun is in at West Coast. We have Dumper. Oxymoron. Oxymoron was our poker champion. We thank everybody who joined us in our big poker tournament on Bet Online on Friday night. Oxymoron took me out. I've gone over that final hand over and over again. I came second. I flopped the straight to the ace, and he flopped the flush. No more hearts came. I thought my straight was very sneaky. I'd already doubled up to take a slight chip advantage. I came into the heads up down and lost fair and square to a great poker player, Oxymoron. There's his free contest. We got a little baller, Al Cervic, and that's not all. Troy Torrance just signed up, so we have more than that. So that's the 40, at least 46. The Survivor Pool, Slaughter, Pete Loshak, Billy Friedrich, Saturated, Say Jose, Clint, myself, TJ, my mom, Mr. Vape, Kent Davies, Big Ragu. Interesting. I didn't see Big. Did we have Big Ragu in the Cappers contest? Look, Big Ragu he's a bad man. If he just wants to do if he only wants in the Survivor, that's fine. Slam the Clostable, Ryan Thorson, Birdie, PSR Preston, Mikey Raw, Rushia, Razor, Sharp Picks is in the Survivor. The Dapper Capper, Super Unknown, the Sweaty Butcher, Ricky Levine, Nate Dogg 420, Salty Pete, Nate Dogg, and West Coast. I was thankful enough to win the Survivor last year. I've won Survivors before. I've never won them in back-to-back years in the same pool. I hope that I get that cash again. It was 33,600. We had 36 entries, and I split it with nobody. Zilch. I took it all. Oh my God, sorry. My shoulder's still fucked up from hockey when I was young, and it pops in and out. And it almost popped out there in the middle of a when it pops out, I can pop it back in, but I just start dripping sweat. My body goes into shock, and my shoulder almost. Okay, I'm gonna keep my shoulder down. Let's take a look at what's going on. Jesus, it just never leaves me. The horrors of hockey. At least I don't have hockey nightmares anymore. I spent 15 to 20 years having hockey nightmares. They turned into stand-up nightmares. Looking at yesterday's winners, BJ with the Diamondbacks money line, Gerald Jones with the Mets, Peter Loshak with Patrick Corbin over 4.5 Ks, Justin McKelvey cashing Jays Phillies over 9. That was a nice first inning for you. What a comeback for those Philadelphia Phillies. Shout out to all of you guys, and I love what's going on this Pub Sports Radio website. I'm excited, not just because we're going to celebrate Jose's birthday here today, but I'm excited to be back in business with you. Last week was great. 6 straight winning shows came to an end, barely. And I'm very concerned about my Blue Jays action and Bowden Francis. This line's going heavily against me. I feel like this is exactly the bet I would have made, before I hooked up with you guys down in Costa Rica 7 years ago. This is exactly the bet I would have made, believing in Bowden Francis, not caring about the market. Although it's not like Bowden Francis is public, but just believing that this 28-year-old journeyman who we traded for Rowdy Tellez is just going to continue to be Sandy Koufax. That's a little much. It's a little much, and I've fallen for it, and I've invested heavily, and I'm very nervous. Afternoon baseball doesn't start till 3:00. Swiggy shouting out Al Cervic, who signed up a few minutes ago. Shout out to Al Cervic. Justin McKelvey. Whenever I say serious business, who's in the chat every day, is a great capper. I lock in. I say his name, and I understand. Like, I'm right with him. We want our content to be fun, but it comes down to success. If there's no success, look, I don't have a family. I'm not shooting in here in this studio, in this house. I'm back in Parkdale. There's sirens nonstop. There was a murder on the 4th floor, 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago. This is serious business. And Justin McKelvey, he knows how serious this business is. He comes in here first in the chat. He gives us his action each and every day. He tracks it. I love it. He gets me ready to go, man. Justin McKelvey, let's copy and paste stacks plays of the day. Before I start rolling through and copying and pasting, I think that we all need to see the man himself. How old is he today? 19, 28? I don't know. Let's find out. There's a bit of a mystery around his age. He's not aging quickly. He puts the stash on, makes him look a little older. He's now living with Helga and his raccoon family on his own, away from his parents, who are in Brazil at this point in time. Let's bring him on and let's celebrate his birthday. And I'll do some copying and pasting. Let's welcome young Jose Bouquett to the show. Jose, let me see that smile.
Yeah, we're starting early, lads. We're starting early. I can't open it, but close are out today, guys.
That's as manly beverage as I can imagine. Got the White Claw going. Hey, I'm not drinking. I've got coffee here. But happy birthday, Jose. My friend, how old are you?
That's a great question. I think I'm 27. 97 birth year. Shout out to Beyonce and myself, by the way. Happy birthday, Beyonce, as well.
She's celebrating your birthday as we speak. She's celebrating your birthday.
I'm sure Hove. That was a good reference. Good reference. Jay-Z. Come on. Is doing the same thing as well. So yeah, we're doing it.
Happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday on the sauce already. Signed up for the Cappers contest and the Survivor pool. Speaking of which, nobody has had a more sordid tale of horrifying fatty fingers than Jose's treacherous walk through these first 2 years of the Cappers contest. So 27, you were born in 1997, the year I graduated high school. That was when you were born, Jose, 1997. Good. It was a great year. 97 was a great year.
Were you fucking?
Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. That was nice. Those were good days, dude. Those were the best of days. Best of days. I had the grade 12 girlfriend, also had the grade 10 girlfriend. Of course. Very quiet. The grade 12 girls were not pleased. I was also had the but let's not talk about that stuff. But those were the best of times.
Yeah, shout out to high school. Lost my virginity in a high school parking lot.
Oh, nice work. Yeah, 2 girlfriends, better than one, Jose.
Come on.
Better.
I know, I respect that. I respect that a lot. Especially in 97. It must have been robbery was easy back then. Well, let alone having 2 girlfriends. Come on.
It was magic. It was a magical time. And then I went east, went to York University and never talked to, actually won whatever. Happy birthday, my friend. Tell us a little bit the day that was yesterday, and I'm going to be copying and pasting action. I got Justin McKelvey, Stacks play today, Kauser, RBI, and Mercedes Lewis over
Mercedes
1.5
Lewis?
bases. I'm going to be copying and pasting action here. Tell us how yesterday went for you.
I had it was a pretty middling day. I went, what did I go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I went 5 and 5, I believe. Here, I'm trying to look at it right. I'm still cross-eyed from being tired as well.
Yes,
Jimmy,
you've been fighting the good fight. All of our NFL videos have been cut. You must have been up till dawn. Excellent work, my friend. But continue on.
Yeah. So I had a middling day yesterday. I was just basically down some juice, record-wise. However, Jimmy, Pete gave me a birthday pick yesterday, and naturally, I put 2 units on it, and I didn't even watch the game. 0 sweat. Patrick Corbin over 4.5 strikeouts is hilarious. And shout out to Pete. He said he's gonna add some more onto his bet as well. So I'm sure he had a lovely day. But it was just a middling day. I had 2 -300s. They fell apart. And if you just take out the -300s, I lost one other bet on the card. So it was a good day. I can't complain, honestly. So we're going to go back to the well with those teams again today, and we're going to ride. But it's going to be a fun day. It's nice to see everyone in the chat. As always, thank you for the birthday wishes, obviously. And I say this, Jimmy. I want 2 things from the people in the chat. Well, 1 thing from the people in the chat, and then 1 thing from someone specifically in the chat.
Okay.
I'll say this. All I want for my birthday is for everyone to join us in the Cappers contest. That is all I want, ladies and germs. You guys have heard the tales of my stubby fat fingers and my stupid memory blowing a couple $1,000s by not hitting all of my picks. And now you can see my lovely face adorned on the submit button now. So I hope you guys all enjoy that. But please join us in the Cappers contest. It's a lot of fun throughout the whole year. Jimmy and I do the Cappers contest show, which is tomorrow, I believe.
Yes,
it's going to be a lot of fun. Week 1, we are entered in the Circa Millions contest again. I'm going to have to devise a strategy to figure out how we're going to do voting this year. I have ideas. Maybe we'll do a Google Sheet, or Google Form, whatever it's called. But join us in the Cappers contest. That is mainly what I care about, ladies and germs. And I do have, again, Jimmy, 1 request from someone specific for my birthday.
Okay.
I need to know how old Dennis Garcia is. That is my birthday wish.
But Dennis, don't let us know. Let only
That's how I want to know.
Because somebody's seen him before.
Oh yeah, and I don't want to know
one person.
I don't want to know from Spenny. I want Dennis to tell me how old he is, and I just need to know if I'm dead wrong about this. Me and Dennis being a 30-year-olds or whatever the fuck.
Dead wrong.
Or he's closer to Jimmy. It's gonna be fun.
And let me keep copying and pasting here. 9 Legacy. Let me give a shout out to all of you guys because you guys deserve it. We have no show without you. We got a great show today. We have MLB here. We got best bets from Daby Cab, Dabber Cadabra. Now, I know that he's been an absolute monster on Medicate Mondays. I believe he's 17-3 over his last 20. Might be 18 now.
Yeah, dominating.
And he feels like he's not, it's just but I told him that if you keep hitting this, it's just going to transfer over to our show and not to worry about it. So he is on the run right now. He's hit 6 of his last 7 here on our show. And I believe it. I really,
he probably jokingly, but he said yesterday that he was considering putting $1,000 on his bet today. And
I don't think that's a joke. He opens it up when he's confident. Yeah. I don't.
Exactly. He said it. I thought it was semi in jest, but I'm telling you because I believe it as well. And by the way, Jimmy, I'm never gonna recover. Shout out to Big Show here. Love Big Show to death. Great producer, producing great content. Go check out the MMA podcast as well. It came out last night. Great times. But Big Show, you son of a bitch, Big Show. He texted me yesterday telling me about a UFC fight. A Canadian versus a Venezuelan. And I was like, oh, great. This is awesome. And the Venice one, of course, like big dog, like plus 700. I was like, okay, great. Classic. I told him, please remind me when this fight's going to happen. I'll bet it. I'll even jump on the program and like sweat it out with you guys, blah, 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 blah. No reminder, nothing. I get not one. I get 5 text messages in 2 minutes. Oh my God, this Venezuelan UFC chick just won plus 800. Oh, it was plus 1,000 in the first round. And I was like, Big Show, unbelievable.
No, you cannot blame Big Show for that, man. You cannot.
Unbelievable.
You're a grown man. You're a grown man.
I needed that. That would have been a great birthday gift, Big Show.
Oh man.
First round knockout, it was disgusting. Plus 1,000 first round as well. Oh my God. I'll never recover, Big Show. I'll never recover.
More stories of woe for young Jose Bouquett. One banger. Oh man.
It was the easiest casher ever. She just bam, fucking knocked her out in the first round.
And so let me ask you, when he told you about this, why didn't you just go bet it?
Because I was busy at the time doing our show or some other shit. And then he asked me to come on their show. I was like, gladly, I'll come on the show. I'll bet this and we'll just do it, you know? And then I will be hopefully a great reaction when I cash my bet. And let me tell you, if I would have cashed that plus 1,800, wherever the fuck it would have been, I would have come. There's been a noise complaint. There would have been a noise complaint because I would have lost my fucking mind. But I still love you, Big Show. But my feelings are still hurt. I'll admit it. I'll admit it.
You don't blame Big Show, man. There's only one person to blame there. Only one, Jose. That's not on Big Show. You're a grown man. Grown men don't get reminders. They don't.
And by the way, shout out to Tori Coker as well, who gave me a winner yesterday as well. Mercury first half. Shout out to Tori.
Tori's the man. Let's do a run through of action here in the chat before Jose and I take on the MLB card, highlighted by the great cappers in the chat's plays of the day. And of course, Daby Cab's action. Justin McKelvey, Colton Cowser, RBI plus 130. Justin McKelvey using the milkman, Colton Cowser. Mercedes Lewis over 1.5 bases is number 2 for stacks. Gerald Jones, best bet, Houston Astros. First 5 minus a half. Very, very strange market there. Very strange, or I'd be on it as well. Sweaty Butcher in the house. We got Old E ready to get to work. Sweaty Butcher just signed up for the Cappers contest. Shout out to you, my friend. Tom Leach cashing back-to-back plays of the day. Cash Pirates team total over 3.5 yesterday. There's serious business in the house. NJ Striker ready to go. The Nuke Worker. Love it. Absolutely love it. Now, Al Cervix says, where do I go to make picks? Don't worry. The picks will be up in Adam, I think 3 p.m. today. We follow the Circa when they announce their picks.
They come out today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes.
I thought they come out on Thursdays.
No, my friend, on Wednesdays. Tom Leach, play of the day. Today is the Royals money line. Royals money line. Wine Time Sports in the house. 3 games for Wine Time Sports. Wine Time Sports on our show last week, 7-3. And that's not as good as his overall record. If we had taken all of his action, he'd have a better record than 7-3. What a monster Wine Time is. And for those of you to get excited about the college football breakdowns, we're doing Duke Northwestern. That's Friday night action. We're doing Texas, Michigan. That is our live bet stream with Daby Cab right after the tailgate. That is Longhorns, Michigan. That's the game of the week. And then we have Texas Tech at Washington State Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. Little late night action for us. Now, not for you guys out west, but for us out east.
Jimmy, can I give you just a poo-poo platter of things that I bet recently?
Yes.
And it's obviously not baseball related. It's funny. I feel sometimes more confident betting college football for whatever reason than betting baseball, because I make these, college football bets, and I wait to make baseball bets with all you guys at Cap It, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll tell you now, Kong's Clips and Cab yesterday, both on Tennessee. I'm on Tennessee. They're going to whoop ass. So Tennessee minus 7.5. I'm on that with them.
I like it.
I hate to do this, Jimmy, and the line's moving in our direction, and it's kind of disgusting. I feel a little gross about it, but a program that has never beaten never beaten their rival, is a favorite? No, sir. UTSA going to Texas State this weekend. My tits will be there. UTSA +1. Take a money line. UTSA wins that game. I'm on them +1 already, -110. And Jimmy, you talked about it yesterday, and I'm glad because I already bet it. And the live stream's going to happen this Monday night. Jets, 49ers. My tits will also be here.
Yes, it will.
Maybe out, exposed to the world at some point. Who knows? The Jets win this football game. The New York Jets win this football game. Aaron Rodgers comes back and finishes the game, avenges those demons from last year, and the New York Jets win that game. I took them +4. I was shocked to see them at +4.5. Took them again, and I took a money line just like Troy. It was hilarious. I bet it all. I bet the 4 and the money line before the show. I heard Troy loves them. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to bet it again. And I saw the 4.5. I was like, what the fuck? This is ridiculous. You think Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, fucking maybe Happy Ayuk is going to change this line? No, sir. So,
I'm with you. I'm fading my Niners. I got the 4.5.
Do you need me to ship you a Zach Wilson jersey? I have an extra one.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And but I do want to, and I hate to go back on this, though, as someone who at one point in my life cared about English literature, please never use poo-poo platter again. Ever. That is the worst alliteration I've ever heard in my entire life. And I know that you are just 27 years old, but I'm about to turn 45. That is the single worst use of alliteration that I've ever heard in my entire life. It's just awful. It's just so awful. It's going to stick in my head. It's just fucking terrible. So please never use that ever again. Nate Dogg 420 in the house. We got Philly Eagle Flyer Goran Ninkowski. Al Cervic locked and loaded. Sports investing and sports talk. Robert Franklin SOKK. We got the Skunt Blaster in the house. Ron Crawford.
Dennis Garcia, who just signed up.
Who did?
Dennis Garcia just signed up for the Cappers contest. Shout out to you, DG.
Nice. Isn't it great too that we have this? It's just barely on. It's like $13.85 or so, but $75 a week times 18, thanks to Harbor Acres Cottages on top of our cash prizes.
Yes. By the way, you're eventually going to see this in the chat, and you're in football mode now that football started. But you said Mercedes Lewis twice, and I'm like, is Mercedes Lewis? Is he back from the dead? I think you're talking about Rolls Royce Lewis.
Oh, you're right. I'm talking about Rolls Royce. Yeah, my bad. I just like you. I lack sleep enormously right now, but I'm pumped up. But you're right.
Yeah, I was like Mercedes Lewis. I was like, is Justin Bellingham to score a touchdown? Is he even?
Oh, you're right. You're right. Thank you. Thank you. You were absolutely
right.
Red Beard.
See that in the chat, but it's very funny. I get a good laugh.
Red Beard in the house. DC Capper says BC Lions in a romp. I want that to go down to 3 so badly to bet the Alouettes. Waiting very patiently. I might pay for it. We'll see how it bangs out. Amia Nigla Analytics in the house. Viper NB ready to get to work. Skunt Blaster with his action here. Let me copy and paste. I think I already have. Muchova and Draper Moneyline Parlay +170. And if tennis isn't your thing, Rangers Moneyline, Texas Rangers Moneyline. Great to see all you guys. My dude, Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. I've got to throw the invitation out for Dutch Boy Fresh for tomorrow, our big live stream. I'm so excited about it. Pistol Pete Loshak will be joining us amongst others. I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
It's a shame. Jimmy. I offered Dutch before the season a Miami Florida State bet when the week happens. It's a shame that Florida State has just shit all over themselves, and now he's never going to accept any bet with Miami Florida State. It's a shame. It is a shame.
What a call by Wine Time, so confident on Miami when it kind of felt like the market was telling us that the Gator is Florida, not Florida State, but Florida was the play, and he doubles down on Miami. That was very interesting. And also, speaking of that Florida State spot, I legitimately spent time thinking, oh, there's going to be an overreaction on how bad Florida State is. I almost moved on Florida State, and that would have been like horrific. And then I saw like Kong's Clips, who's had that monster week, was all over Boston College, tripled up wine time on Boston College. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Great to see all you guys. We got to get to work. Mally Mal in the house. Great to see you. Ray Charles, Silver Skills. Great group here. Ricky, Bobby, ready to go. Jeff Shahadi, Slatsy, ready to work. Great to see all of you guys. Stephen Fehrenbach, 9 Legacy, The Real DJ X. It's time to get to work. DC Capper, Kelly McKinnis, Joseph Thompson, Joseph Alvarado. Thank you guys for joining us. Trap God, he's also on Draper. We got Jermaine Conley, Jerry Davis, Leonard Porsche Jr., my guy Leonard Porsche Jr. Great to see you. Football is here. We got Red Girl, Mr. Heat, and there's Kong. So his smash play of the week is Steve Garcia and Sean Brady parlay at plus 132 is 8-1 on those. There's nobody hotter than Kong's Clips. And maybe Wine Time, maybe Troy. But I mean, those three are the hottest 3 cappers that
especially because he's betting all this stuff early as well. Really impressive. Shout out to you, Kongs.
Yes, and my dude, thank you for the Royce, not Mercedes. Raymond Reichert in the house, ready to put a big bet on the Blue Jays. I think they win. I don't know how you can with this market. Slatsy says Leon Draisaitl, officially the highest paid player in NHL history. His salary would be the 60th highest in the NBA. You know, he's worth it. But I am not under the belief that if you underpay somebody, that means that when they get the opportunity that you overpay them. And maybe it's not an overpayment, but the Canucks did that with Alex Burrows going way back. You know, we were underpaying him $2 million a year, and then we gave him this huge raise when he wasn't worth it anymore. Look, you signed Draisaitl for the best deal in hockey. That doesn't mean that you overpay him as soon as he's able to get that cash, but he's a hell of a hockey player.
The Bulls didn't do that with Scotty.
Well, Scotty that was a terrible decision by Scotty. One of many terrible decisions by Scotty. Okay, Joseph Thompson here with the you're under play of the day. National Marlins. So by the way, we got LJ, we got Brizzy, we got Ramon Scott, Peter Loshak, and I'm still going to get a few more guys to join us on tomorrow's NFL live stream. If you could fire up that thumbnail for tomorrow, I'm very, very excited about rocking with everybody. Our first live stream with you. Troy Torrance will be there, of course, as well. Mally Mal saying 96 was a great year too. It sure was. If it makes you feel better, Jose, Stephen Fehrenbach cashed with the Venezuelan fighter. Does that make you feel better?
I mean, yeah, that makes me feel great, Steve. Shout out to you. Did I wake up today and one of my first 4 things I thought about was, God damn, it would be nice if I hit that plus 800. Yeah, that's maybe one of the first things I thought about.
Pick up 200 on $25. Never hurt nobody.
Yeah, was the 5th thing I thought about my yellow picket teeth fence. I don't know, maybe
you know that that I'm really happy that got to you.
Never forget. By the way, Jimmy, I've established a goal for myself. I forgot who it was now. I think it was Skunt that said I'm a sipper of alcohol, and I am. Not to worry. My goal today, Jimmy, I will finish 2 White Claws during this program.
It doesn't inspire anything from me whatsoever. But great work here. And, we are going to get into game 1, which I'm very nervous about getting into in MLB. But before we do, I like that the yellow picket teeth got in your head. And it reminds me, I have a friend, a little bigger dude. And, he had his shirt off, we're at the pool. And I told him that his tits looked like pepperoni pizzas. And at that point, it just stuck in his head for 20 years.
And now he puts his shirt on to go into the pool. Forever.
Let's get to work. 19.8 says 4 White Claws or nothing. MLB, coming off my first losing day in a while. Look, the record sucks. Minus 3.78% ROI. I made a lot of money back in the last 2 weeks. I need to make more, and I'm very concerned about this first game. 3:07 p.m. Eastern with the Philadelphia Phillies, 82-56, 35-31 on the road at the Toronto Blue Jays, 67-73. Now 34-34 at home. Let's get into the weather. It's gorgeous up here today. Imagine the roof will be opened down at the, I hate calling it Rogers, but the Sky Dome, let's just call it the Sky Dome. It's a shit place. Anyways, 72 Fahrenheit, 6.6 miles per hour out to left center. Gorgeous day. Roof will be open. Christopher Sanchez going up against Bowden Francis. So In August, Bowden Francis was 4-1 with a 1.05 ERA, a 0.89 on base or opponent's batting average, 39 strikeouts and 4 walks, and 34 and a third. It was the best months I've ever seen in my life. Now I was a little before, like I was an Expos fan, when I was 8, 9, 10, 11. The Steve era I wasn't really a part of, but I will tell you that Roger Clemens and Doc Holliday, they've never had months like this. And so I moved on it. The line was moving with me. I moved on the first 3. I moved on the first 5, and I moved on the first 5 under. The first 5 under 4.5 was minus 120 at 365. It was minus 127 at Pinnacle. Thought I was getting an advantage, and I took it. I see every single person here on the Blue Jays in the chat. That makes me more nervous.
Oh no!
Again, it makes me very, very uncomfortable.
It's interesting that we see everyone in the chat on the Blue Jays, as you're saying, and it's 76% of the bets, 93% of the money on the Phillies.
That makes me feel better. Let's go over that line history here. Oh God, something's up. And maybe it's just the horrific bullpen, or you go through the 1-9. The Phillies are a much, much better lineup. So this opened up with the Phillies minus 120. Now they're minus 125. That doesn't concern me. I'm only first 3 and first 5. And then last week with Bowden Francis, there wasn't the market made me really uncomfortable as well. Here on the first 5, let's go over to Bet Online. Bet Online, have they not moved this plus 1? Oh, they did move it up. So minus 103, it opens up, gets up to minus 105. I thought that line would be moving in my direction. Now I'd already bet it. I bet it at maybe 1:32 in the morning. But now it's at plus 103. Why is the first 5 going towards Christopher Sanchez? I mean, I just couldn't be more uncomfortable. Let's go to the total here in this one. And again, I'm going to focus on the first 5. We see 4s across the board. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Because this went to 4. This was actually at 4 basically, because it was minus 127 to the over or to the under at 4.5. So it was basically a 4. But then it went back to 4.5, and I was like, oh God. So we're back at 4 right now. That 4 was at minus 104. If this could be a pick 'em at 4, I'd be so confident here. But I'm really, really, really uncomfortable. I couldn't be more uncomfortable. And Jerry Davis says we are not the public to me. No, I get it. But Ron Crawford, spreadsheet, Phillies, I get it. I'm just really uncomfortable. And this is to start the day for me. This is to start the MLB week. I've been off since Friday, so I'm just extremely, extremely uncomfortable. That's all. And let's get into the cash flow then. Here we have, as Jose said, 77% of tickets, 93% of the cash on the Phillies. Line's not moving. That makes me feel okay. 96% of tickets and 96% cash on the over. That also makes me feel very good on my under. So maybe it's not too bad. And yes, this is an early game. This is 3:07 p.m. Eastern. This is the lone afternoon spot. Christopher Sanchez on the road. He's not been good this year. I'd love to hear what Sharpie has to say about it. 2-6, 5.43 ERA, just 40 strikeouts over 59 2/3. Now he's only allowed 4 home runs, but the opponents are hitting 324 against him. His last start, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned, 5-4 win at home versus the Braves. Bowden Francis has been nothing short of spectacular. The Phillies aren't hitting with power. Now, they were last night, but 251, 724 OPS. Jays versus lefties, 223, 706 OPS. Both bullpens have been good. This is a triple up spot for me, Jose. I mean,
Jesus.
I've got to go get a suit for Sonny's wedding here, and the family is coming with me, and I'm going to be sweating this game. And if I'm like, I'm just, what's wrong with Daddy? What?
Yeah. And if you pop out your shoulder, you'll really be sweating.
Oh, that was
yeah. I got scared for your well-being there. I saw the fear of God in you there for a second.
Rod Zawacki says Blue Jays have won each of their last 6 games as home underdogs against NL East opponents.
Well, Jimmy, I'm not going to lie. Hands up, Jimmy. I've had half this White Claw. I'm already a little buzzed here. Good. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sure.
I mean, AstroTurf or whatever in Toronto, we've got no grass to slow down any balls that Chris Sanchez is going to put.
It's not the AstroTurf of the 80s. I mean, they've tried to make it a little softer, but yes.
Yeah, so I mean, it makes sense. Sharpie talks all the time about how they use the water that grass, make it thick for their ground ball pitchers, Ranger Chris. And when he's on the road, he doesn't have that advantage. So I know that makes sense to me in a little sense.
Well, Bowden Francis coming off the best month in Major League Baseball history. It feels like you're walking into a cave here, and and if there's not a bear, there's a junkie with a knife. Are you moving on this game?
I am not. No, I found it semi-interesting that it was a pretty cheap line. Pretty cheap line here for the Toronto Blue Jays. But I can't move on the Blue Jays full game. I mean, just you see what you saw yesterday was just catastrophic. Now, admittedly, the day after a gigantic bullpen collapse is, if the bullpen is like, salvageable, like arms wise, I wouldn't mind going to them the next day. Obviously, human nature takes over, and they're going to be, they understand they blew the game to yesterday. So I'm sure they're going to be extra focused here today to try to get those outs. But I still would stick to first 5 here, Toronto Blue Jays. Honestly, like I said, it's a cheap price for the Phillies. Line is moving towards the Phillies, which is a little scary. Minus 116 opener at Bet Online, and all the money and bets are on the Phillies. So, typically I'd want to be on the other side. So it makes sense to me, but I'm off.
Amia says, when I saw Sharpie say Francis gets absolutely butt spanked today, I knew the Phillies were the right pick. Good luck, boys. I don't know if I believe that, Amia. First off, Sharpie's my friend, so I know he would never say butt slapped. So there's no proof of that on his Twitter. So I'm not calling you out for lying, but okay. Let's move on. 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 31-109, 13-55 on the road at Baltimore Orioles 81-59, 41-30 at home. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. Yes, not flush. I'm very, very concerned. Obviously, I've fallen for Bowden Francis, and I'm very, very, very concerned. Very concerned. Especially when you make a bet at 2 a.m. after a 3.5-hour football show. After
no.
Yeah, I couldn't be more concerned. I couldn't be more.
So what did you bet again?
I have the first 3, the first 5, and the first 5 under 4.5.
Okay. Shout out to Coin, who just joined the Cappers contest.
Big shout out to Coin. I'm still worried about my shoulder. Big shout out to
Coin.
Watch out. Big shout out to Coin. Love it. Love capping with you, Coin.
It would be a shame if you had to do the show in a sling. That's all. It'd be a shame.
Pop back out. I would just start dripping sweat, and then I can't use it, and like it's fine. Like it's happened for 25 years. Okay. Jonathan Cannon going up against Albert Suarez. And here we go. The Stacks play of the day. He's on the Milkman here. Colton Hauser, the Milkman. Shout out to our guy Justin McKelvey, because there are certain cappers that get you to lock in, and I always talk about serious business, but Justin's the same way. He gets you to lock in. He knows what the stakes are and what we do. Shout out to Justin.
Stacks.
We have Jonathan Cannon and Albert Suarez. Cannon has not looked very good, and he's not looked very good on the road. 5 innings last start was at home. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. On the road, he's 1-5 with a 5.40 ERA. And this is over 41 2/3 innings. It's a legit, it's a legit sample size. And he's not looked good. Opponent's hitting 315 off him. He's allowed 6 home runs over 41 2/3. Albert Suarez has been great. When I thought there could be some arm fatigue with an older pitcher, there's been none. He looks very strong right now. What a start he had in the thin air Colorado. And that was a fade. Remember, we were on the Rockies at that one. That was tough to watch. Suarez looked great. He's been great at home all year. 3-1, 2.45 ERA over 51 1/3. He's only allowed 3 home runs and 51 1/3. White Sox, they're the worst team in the history of the sport, hitting 235, 643 OPS versus righties. Orioles versus righties, 238, 710. They're not hitting with much power, but they've moved into the lead of the division, Jose. And I don't know if it stays, but I'm cheering on Texas pretty hard. That's a very important
Oh
plus
my
140.
God! What a collapse by the Yankees. Good fuck. I had the Rangers last night, and again, by the way, if you guys watched Low Shack show yesterday, Andrew Heaney is I think my favorite pitcher in baseball now. He is the most like obvious pitcher when the line is just weird. Bet on that fucking guy. Shout out to Clay Holmes for being the fraud who we always know he is.
It was huge. It was huge. Absolutely huge. So here we go. Cannon, Suarez, White Sox bullpen horrific. Orioles bullpen trying to, finding their way slightly. Let's go over the line history here for this one. We have this total sitting at 8.5. It's minus 104 to the under. So there has been a 9-cent move towards the over. When we get to the money line, we have we have the Orioles at minus 361. They opened up minus 300. 61 cents of movement at Pinnacle. Just a monster move to a giant favorite. And when we get to the cash flow here, there's our guy, Razor Sharp Picks, wishing you a happy birthday. And it is his birthday tomorrow. Shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp Picks.
Yeah, birthday week.
96% of the tickets, 97% of cash on the over. And on the money line, 98% of the tickets and 93% of cash on the Orioles. Take it away, Jose. The floor is yours. White Sox Orioles.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going down with the ship. I said these numbers yesterday, Jimmy. I'll give you the numbers here again, actually. Our guy, Nicholas Earl, shout out to Nick Earl, does a great job tracking his bets and tracking, like, for example, the minus 300, the minus 300 fade, I should say. So he does a great job of it, and he gave me the numbers yesterday. Because we had two yesterday as well. Both lost, obviously. But before yesterday, first 5, 7, 14, and 1, plus 0.72 units. That's just first 5 this year. Full game, 8 and 14, 7.68 units of profit there. Wow. Overall, 8.4 units. So not bad at all. I asked him specifically as well. What was it? First half and second half? Because I've seen that question be asked before. And it, kind of makes sense that the second half lines would be a little better than the first half lines. You got teams stop trying, et cetera, et cetera. First 2 months up 4.59 units. Full first half up 9.34 units. From the All-Star break till yesterday, it was down 1.65 units, 4-11 and 1, I should say. So that's first 5 full game there combined. And then obviously it took 2 or 4 L's, I should say, last night as well. So, I'm starting to kind of believe that, I can see the second half lines being sharper in that minus 300, but I'm going to ride it here today again. White Sox full game money line, and I'm going to only bet it one way here. The White Sox offense has just been pathetic, and taking that team total yesterday was annoying. And Nutflush, I saw your comment. No worries. No, I didn't. I'm absolutely I don't hate taking the team totals with a minus 300 fade at all, because if I think they're going to win this game, I think they're going to score 2 runs in the first 5 innings or whatever. So I'll limit the damage, as you say today, Nutflush. And I'll just take White Sox full game money line. As always, I'll keep saying the mantra. I don't think any team should be minus 300 in baseball. But it is interesting that the first half lines are significantly, less sharp, whatever you want to say, than the second half. So White Sox full game for me, plus 306.
I think that as you go through this, it's possible that in the last month of the season, these minus 300s or start winning, because they're in a pennant race, and the plus 300s or plus 270s, 280s have given up on the season. And I think that
I was thinking too.
You should keep a very, very close eye if that's the case. Maybe it's not the case, but keep a very, very close eye if that is the case. And our guy Cameron Sinnott in the house with a $19.99 dono to Jose. I love it. Thank you, Cameron.
Yep.
And
Shout out to you.
Jose just finished his first beverage. I'm gonna call it beverage because we don't, we want to.
Well, hold on. I still have a little bit left, but yeah. Shout out to you, Cameron. No, and what sucks, Jimmy, you guys all was like, oh, this pussy's drinking a White Claw. I'm already fucking drunk almost on this fucking one White Claw. It's disgusting.
Nutflush, he's not on a team total. He's only taking the full game now.
Yeah, and team total, by the way, Nutflush, if you're interested in knowing, first 5, 1.5 plus money. Oh, that's very intriguing to me, I will admit. And 2.5 full game minus 130. Again, both intriguing. But I'll take the White Sox full game, limit the damage. We ride.
And shout out to our guy, Stephen Fehrenbach, who's going to be rolling with us all year long in the Cappers contest. I love it. Thank you. Wonderful. Respect. And Cameron, thank you for that $19.99 dono to the channel on behalf of Jose's birthday. Thank you for all of that. It means a ton.
Yep. And 9 Legacy, by the way, saying his favorite number is 27. He got married at 27, turned 27 on August 27th. On his 50th birthday or whatever the fuck. I can't read, obviously, but he likes the number 27. So nice there, 9 Legacy. Nice to see you.
Well, I was a big fan of the number 27 because of Harold Snepps.
I don't know who that is.
Harold Snepps. He was very, very tough, stay-at-home defenseman, fighter, tough guy. And when I first started going to games with my pops, the whole arena would yell Harold, and he had this big mustache, and he'd come out and he'd knock someone out. Old Harold Snepps. Let's roll on. Next up for us, we have the Houston Astros at Cincinnati Reds, and the aforementioned Dabra Kadabra joining us here right now. As I said, we know how hot he's been on Medicate Mondays, and I told him, numbers will work themselves out. They will work themselves out, and that is what has happened. Well, it's starting to happen for our guy. We now have him cashing 6 of his last 7 here on the show. I know he's going to be in the black by the end of the season. Please welcome the star of Medicate Mondays, the star of the Tailgate every Saturday morning, and that's at 10 a.m. And, of course, the star of our college football live stream. Please welcome Daby Cab to the show. Daby, how are you, my man?
Oh, good. Man, you said it. It drives me crazy seeing that record at the top. But anybody who goes to pubsportsradio.com and follows the website, my year to date on the website is double digits in baseball. I hit double digits in baseball finally last week. So we're rolling, man. We're rolling.
Well,
let's everyone ignore how the screen looks like right now. I'm fixing it as we speak. So
yes. Good job, Jose.
Thank you. I'm drunk, Cab. It's what it is.
It's
that's gonna be my excuse for everything today, guys. You guys gave me this excuse. I'm gonna be an asshole at dinner tonight. I'm just like, hands up, guys. I'm just drunk.
This is a wild situation, this game here, because Nick Martinez has started to be the pitcher that you have always said that he was. He's looked like a gas can last couple starts. He's been bad at home all year, 3-4, 4.62 ERA, 306 opponents batting average. And Spencer Arrighetti has been spectacular. Back-to-back road shutouts, and we're not talking minnows. We're talking he beats the Orioles and the Phillies, combined 13 and 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no earned runs, 17 Ks, and 5 walks. Now, he struggled a bit on the road, 4.87 ERA, a 246 opponents batting average, but he is lights out right now. So let's get in the line history here, because I would have already been on this. And now, okay, are we starting to see movement now? Okay, now we are. So this opened up at minus 132, and there was no movement. There was no movement until 10 this morning. Why? Actually, there was a little bit of movement last night, but, I was looking at this around 1 a.m., and there had been a slight 2-cent move, towards the Reds. And I do care a lot about those early moves. But now I see it moving towards, and does the day off, the Astros are playing lights out baseball. Daby Cab, we're in line to get our cash on the division, which is going to be extreme. I'm just counting down the minutes so I can cash that thing. This total is at 9. It's at 9. It's minus 110 to the under. It opened up at 9.5 and has moved to 9. So we have a half run move to the under. Let's pull up the cash flow here. Cash flow. We have 78% of tickets, 77% cash on the Astros. And on the total, we have 92% tickets, 93% cash on the over. And Mally Mal saying the Astros first 5 about to be on my list. With the Astros elite bullpen, I think you can take the full game. But I looked at the first 5. I mean, it was the first thing I looked at. I mean, I for how long has Daby Cab told us that Nick Martinez is a gas can, and now he's performing the role of gas can. But here, take a look at the first 5 market movement, minus 138. So it opened up at minus 135, 3 cents of movement. You're saying that there's no real advantage here. It's at this number. So obviously they're a favorite for a reason, but at minus 135, there's no advantage on betting the Astros. It's hard to comprehend. Again, 92 and 93 on the over and 78 and 77 on the Astros. And that bullpen advantage is thick. The Astros are allowing 2.13 runs less over 9 innings, their bullpen, than the Reds bullpen. Take it away, Daby Cab, Astros Reds.
Yeah, so this whole thing with Nick Martinez, he's flat. I've been saying it all year. His fastball is flat. It's easy for power hitters. Even when he was throwing well, even when he was making that little bit of a run, like I'm thinking the game he threw so well against Kansas City, Bobby Witt still went yard on him because he's flat, right? If you look at, let's say, last 3 starts, he has no record with a 7.82 ERA, a 1.74 whip, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts, and that's 12 and 2/3 innings of work. So the more people see him, the more they understand his sequencing, the easier he's going to become to hit. He's not going to get hit less. He's going to get hit more, is my point, right? And then you look at Aaron Getty on the other side, complete opposites. These pitchers are moving in complete opposite directions. Aaron Getty is somebody that, early on in the year, if you were fading him, you were making money. But his last few starts, he's just been electric, right? We're looking at 3 starts for Martinez, so I'll do the same for Aaron Getty. 2-1 with a 1.86 ERA and a 0.98 whips, 7 walks, 22 strikeouts, and 19 and 1/3 innings of work. So just excelling. So as far as the side goes, I like the Astros as a first 5 here, but I don't think anybody has to think too hard, right? Nick Martinez is a right-hander who is flat, who throws in the mid-90s. What am I going to do? He gives up more home runs than any other pitcher. He gives up fly balls. We're going to go with Alvarez. I took Alvarez at minus 125. First thing, the moment that I could take it, that shit's juiced up to 139 now. I still like it. Sometimes you have to pay to play, okay? I keep my juice down, but sometimes you got to pay to play. This is one of those situations. And even if Alvarez doesn't cash, I'd pay to play again tomorrow, right? This is just something that I got to be a part of. I got Alvarez over 1.5 bases, minus 125. Anybody who doesn't like laying juice, put your Astros bet with Alvarez. Get some plus money.
Yeah. Did the market concern you a little bit? Is that why you're not also on the Astros? That's why you didn't add it to Alvarez?
I was going to be on the Astros, and it was going to be, I was either going to have 2 bets or a combined bet. And for something just made me a little too uncomfortable to bet this as a side.
I feel like I'm be leaving money on the table. I can't believe Nutflush saying last outing Martinez was hanging on every inning from getting pulled. Balls were getting hit hard. Jose Bouquett, Astros Reds, take it away.
Yeah, the line, I don't know. I would be fine if I was on the Astros. Honestly, this line opened up for me at minus 127 up to minus 140.
When did it move to 140?
It moved to minus 140. I'll tell you right now.
The problem's not the move. It's opening at 1. Why is this opening at minus 127? That's the problem.
I mean, I agree with you there. That's a little weird. It goes up to minus 144 at 11 yesterday. It gets up to minus 144, goes back down to minus 133, and then comes back up to minus 140. It got to minus 140 at 11:26, so semi-recently. I mean, yeah, I lean Astros here. I'm not going to move on this game either. I don't want to pay the juice. Cab, I'll be watching Gordon. I do have bad news for everyone. I have run out of White Claws, so I have to switch to a Michelob Ultra, unfortunately.
Why is that bad news for us?
Yeah, no, that's good news.
You're drinking a beer now?
Yeah, it's lemon infused, I believe.
A lemon beer? All right.
Lime? Is it lime? The green one? The green one. Lime infused.
Alvarez over 1.5 bases. And, I remember 2 years ago when I got so hot in August in MLB, I would take the very first look from my gut and I would put a line through it. That is the Astros here. Now I haven't been doing that this year. Maybe I'm leaving money on the table. But something just doesn't feel right. Now, Stephen Harrison says minus 148 on DraftKings.
For the Astros or for Alvarez?
Oh, Astros.
Okay.
Astros, yeah.
Well, shit. He's Jimmy. I'm telling you, it was 125. Last I looked, it was minus 135. It's just running. And now that's just one book, but still.
And you tweeted it out minus 125.
I did,
Beautiful.
yes.
Okay. And Raymond says it's your day, Jose. Do as you please.
Thank you. I obviously, Justin, haven't eaten yet. I mean, either. That's why I'm fucking destroyed after one White Claw.
All right. You got your hot dog waiting. Don't worry.
Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases for Daby Cab, and at this point, Jose and I are off of it. Now, Jose, when first pitch comes, this is a minus 165. Are we going to be beating ourselves up?
Probably, but I don't want to lay the juice.
Okay. We roll on. I don't think that day off necessarily helps, but we roll on. Now, Daby Cab, you are rolling back with us here. You have, let's go over here. Sorry, you have Yankees, Rangers, and Tigers, Padres.
Yep.
So then can you also cap the Dodgers, Angels game so we keep you for those three? Keep you straight through?
For sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Can I also ask you to cap a college football game for me, Cap? Not for our
TSA,
program.
I guess.
Yeah,
So.
just let me know what you think.
All right, for your birthday, I got you.
Thank you. My lips are going to be out at that game, so I need to know if I should be talking shit throughout of it or should I be a quiet Mary? I just need to know. But thank you for your service.
I got you. I'll be back.
There he is, Dabra Cadabra. Let's roll on. 6:40 p.m. Eastern with the Washington Nationals, 62-76, 30-39 on the road at the Miami Marlins, 51-87, 25-45 at home. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. Mackenzie Gore versus Valente Beloso. Now, Beloso's been excellent this year, and all that happened was it was his first time in the thin air, Colorado, and he got lit up and smoked.
Yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not surprised by that at all. And especially in a back-to-back lefty spot, I kind of lean Marlins as well with you, if you're moving that way.
Well, I'm very interested in the game. Very interested in the game. We have Mackenzie Gore, 8-11, 4.45 ERA, 1.55 WHIP, 146 Ks, over 137 and 2/3. In his last start, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 6 Ks, and 1 walk, and a 5-2 win at home versus Yankees. He pitched very well. He's been fine. His home road splits are similar. 4.70 ERA on the road. 5 home runs allowed over 59 and third with 274 opponents batting average. And Beloso's been great this year. And he got lit up and smoked in that game. So it's okay. But the Nats are hitting righties right now, 267, 756. And the Marlins numbers are decent against lefties, 231, 708 OPS. Nats bullpen 3.53 ERA since August 1st. Again, these stats are all since August 1st. I'm not going to move till August 15th for a little bit. And the Marlins bullpen's been a train wreck. Just since they had the mass exodus at the trade deadline. Let's take a look at the line history here. We'll go back to Penny. I got the first 5 up, so let's move over to the full game. But, I might want to look at the first 5 because I do really want to stay away from that Marlins bullpen. But these Marlins open up at plus 122, and that's where they are, plus 122. Now, they are a home dog. Curious to hear Jose's thoughts on how home dogs have been. Because we know that the slight home dog was something that Troy was, pushing us to stay away from. This total opened up under 8.5 minus 115. It went to 8 at 6:47 p.m. last night, and then back to 8.5. At this point, we've had 5 cents of movement towards the over. So no move on the side, 5 cents of movement on the over. Let's get over to the cash flow here. See what we're dealing with from a cash flow perspective. We have 81% of tickets and 80% of cash on the Nationals. On the total, we have 84 and 85 on the over. So, yes, Jose, I want the Marlins. I'd like to stay away from their bullpen, and I'd like to back them first 5. DC Capper moving on BYU over 55.5 on Friday. I'll copy and paste that. Thank you. Tom Leach has doubled up on Alvarez over 1.5 bases. Take it away for us here, Jose. The floor is yours. Nats, Marlins.
I can already tell you this White Claw and beer combo was a mistake. Shout out to all the Virgos in the chat, by the way. Red Girl's birthday soon. My dude's birthday's in September. Shout out to the Virgos. I mean, again, I agree with you. I think this is a Marlins spot. I kind of was interested in them as well, just kind of determining how I was going to move on them. I think I'll roll with you first 5. And you just said it, all the money, 80+% of the bets and money on the Nationals. Line has not really moved. I will say first 5 has moved pretty drastically on Bet Online. Nationals -130 to -148. So I think I'm going to stick with full game and roll the dice with the bullpens here. Nationals have been good against righties. You've been you're spot on with that. I'll even give you the split from the 15th to today. I should update this actually and add today on there. But from the 15th to today, there are 113 weighted runs created plus against righties. That is 10th best. Very good. I'll keep saying I think the Nationals are going to be a bet on team next year as well. They're going to be a good team. You can see the spine of their team. Well, not really good, but I think they're going to be a developing team. But yeah, I think this is a Miami Marlins spot. So I'm going to take Marlins full game for me.
Marlins full. I'm going to have to get off the first 5. Now, some books haven't moved it as much, but they opened it a deeper line for the Nats. Nats are more expensive first 5. I'm going to have to stay off. Okay. That's okay. That's okay. Jerry Davis says Belozo rocked his last 3 games. Let's go over that here because maybe it's just a bias that I have for Valente Belozo as I have cashed with him this year, and I've liked what I've seen. But let's just go over those last 3 games, make sure that here we go. Valente Belozo. And
I've got it. It's 4 innings, 6 earned runs against Colorado, as you mentioned. 4 2/3, 6 runs, 5 of them earned against Chicago.
Last 2
Chicago
games.
Cubs.
Yeah,
a Chicago Cubs team that, truthfully, obviously Troy said like 2 weeks ago, he said bet on them every day, and they've been a back team. So
they were raking.
And they're doing the thing. And then the Mets, who I think they're a good team, and I think they've been hitting well. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. That
was a good start. And look at those 2 starts before that. Shuts out the Phillies over 7 innings. Shuts out the Reds over 5 2/3. So yeah, he's had 2 bad starts, which you can excuse. Cubs are raking and the Rockies thin air. If you go to the 3 starts before those, then you're sitting here with 18 innings and 2 earned runs. And he's been great. So, but I'm not on it. So what are you getting on Marlins full game? And it's important, Jerry. Thank you for the, it's important.
Yes.
What's your full game?
120.
All right. Jose's on the Marlins plus 120. Unfortunately, I'm going to be off of that one. Ricky Bobby on the Marlins -1 going for the score. Respect that.
By the way, real quick, I'll just say this. The Nationals are obviously super left-handed in their starting rotation this year. I think that obviously helps them back-to-back days against lefties. But next year, they're not going to have Patrick Corbin. It's going to be much easier for Mackenzie Gore to go after a righty. So just know, again, the Nationals will be bet on next year.
Next up for us, 6:50 p.m. Eastern, the Minnesota Twins 75-63, 36-33 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays, 68-70, 36-37 at home. We're at the Trop in St. Petersburg. So we got 2. You want to say young pitchers, but Cole Sulser is definitely not that. Ronnie Henriquez is that. So let's take a look at Ronnie here, 24 years old, out of the Dominican. And he is a listed pitcher. Okay, good. This year, AAA St. Paul, he was really good, 55 innings. Now, this is a bullpen day for both. So we don't need to get too caught up in Ronnie. Ronnie did start 3 games for St. Paul, but, he's throwing 34 games. He's closed a bunch of games. He's been good. But this is a bullpen day. So that is Ronnie. Let's go over to the Cole Sulser. This guy's earned this opportunity. 34 years old, 25th round pick in 2013 out of Dartmouth. So it's a good story here. He made his major league debut as a 29-year-old. I thought it was 30, but it says here 29-year-old. He's earned this. And I like seeing it. I like seeing this stuff. But again, this is a bullpen situation here. He came over from the Mets. He was, at Syracuse. He came over. Now he was in Durham. And he's been really good this year. He deserves this opportunity. Last year, he had a cup of coffee with the Diamondbacks. He got lit up and smoked. I mean, he's been lit up and smoked most of his career. He's a journeyman. But can he get you one inning? Why not? And we have Royce Lewis. I was calling Mercedes earlier. Thank you, my dude, who corrected me. Stacks play today is Royce Lewis over 1.5 bases, a plus 107. And you know what? If I can hear the Stacks beat twice in one day, it feels good. Feels right. Stacks, Royce Lewis.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Sammy Culmer in the house, wishing you a happy birthday, Jose. Muchova Sabenka money line and Sabenka minus 1.5 sets for a 2-unit spot from our guy, Sammy Culmer. Thank you, Sammy, my man. Respect. So let's roll here with this bullpen day. Bullpen day from both. This is a first career start for Ronnie Henriquez, but we know he's just.
You want to hear primaries?
Yes. Who are the primaries?
Louis Varland is the primary, and this is according to RotoWire, obviously. For Minnesota, Tyler Alexander, the one for the Rays.
Interesting. So then you want to look at. So can you get me the Tyler Alexander's a lefty, right? I'm not screwing that up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tyler Alexander's a lefty. Louis Varland a righty.
Yeah, I know that. But can you give me the a number, because the Twins have been hitting righties very hard. What have they been doing to lefties? The Rays don't hit righties at all. 217, 628 OPS. And the Rays bullpen's been so good, but the Rays aren't hitting. This is immediately starting to appeal for an under for me. But do you have the numbers up against lefties?
Yeah. From the 15th to today, and their numbers against righties are also honestly about the same. 95 weighted runs created plus against righties. Against lefties. Jesus. And that is 16th best. So, you can call it average, but still it's 5 or 4%. Yeah, 5% below average here against lefties. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if both whatever they're called, piggyback guys have good starts here.
Yeah, interesting. So there's been no movement on the side. This hit 7.5 a bunch of times. We've had 9 cents of movement towards the under. Yeah, I don't see why this wouldn't be. Thank you, DC.
Congratulations to Abel A as well. His daughter's birthday's today. Virgo's in the chat.
Respect, Abel, my man. So let's take a look at the cash flow here. We have 26% tickets and 42% cash on the under. It feels like it's sharp. Very, very, very interesting, right? I feel like an under is about to come. RVD 420 in the house. Just jumped in to say happy birthday to Jose. Respect. Thank you, RVD.
Shout out to you, RVD 420. Nice to see you.
Jose, take it away. Are we going to bet the under here?
I was interested in it. I haven't moved on it yet. You mentioned, I'll talk about the total here. 74% of the bets, 58% of the money on the over. And on our friends at Bet Online, it's gone from minus 112 to minus 116 to the under. I mean, I lean under for sure. I haven't bet many totals, honestly. It feels like in the second half. There's not like a particular reason why that is. Maybe I tend to lean under on all totals just like you, and maybe Noli has beat that in my head as well. And it feels like the second half has just been a lot of overs, pitchers getting tired and all that stuff. So,
but don't you feel like that's stopped? Like, as the weather slightly changed, did you feel that's still happening last 2 weeks?
I don't know. I can't say for certain either way, but I'll tell you, this is a battle of two. I'm going to refresh my numbers here real quick because we know the Rays from the trade deadline to today have been dominant bullpen-wise. Bullpen-wise for both of these teams from the 15th to today, maybe a smaller sample size. Rays bullpen is at, I need a control F, just I see them apparently, a 13th, a 3.5 ERA, 76 innings pitched. And Minnesota is 19th, a 4.13. So I'm a little worried. I probably just stay off, honestly.
Not for me. I think this is exactly where I'd want the under here. I'm not going to bet it right now. I was thinking, because I would have had a winning day if I didn't make 3 additions, 1 pushed and 2 lost on Friday. And I was thinking when I had to get the bet in, those are cashing at a high rate. When I'm like, look, I got to stop the show, got to get this bet in. When I'm like, I can just wait on that one. Those don't have a positive ROI. And I was thinking, if I don't feel forced to make the bet as soon as we talk about it, maybe I shouldn't bet it. But we'll deal with that here. Stephen Harrison also has a birthday in September. Respect.
God damn, there's just a lot of fucking in January, huh?
And shout out to our guy MMA Locker Room. The Locker Room podcast is up and it's excellent. Again, what a job those guys are doing. Shout out to the crew. That is up on the YouTube page. Let's roll on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Boston Red Sox 70-69, 39-13 on the road at the New York Mets 75-64, 37-33 at home. I can hear it just the sound that you make seeing that record 70-69. Can you imagine the Jays could have a better record than the Red Sox by the end of the season? I mean,
yeah, the Red Sox could finish in last place because they're a bunch of young frauds, a bunch of fucking young pussies. I'm obviously very emotional right now. I don't mean anything that I say, but god damn it, this team pisses me off.
Kong's Clips birthday's next Wednesday. Kong is fire right now. Hope you guys are all following Kong. I hope you guys are all following Kong because he's absolute fire right now. Let me just pop Kong's Clips X here into the chat.
Yeah, but real quick, Jimmy, I'll just kick off the market here.
Thank you.
And it's been disgusting to watch the Red Sox. Second half, worst records. Chicago White Sox, Boston Red Sox, right there. Just fucking horrible in the fucking second half. And I'll mention this, 64% of the bets, 62% of the money on the Mets. It should be higher. Minus 113 opener for the fucking Red Sox, and it's flipped.
Initially wanted the Red Sox here. We'll break this down. There's our guy Ricky Levine in the house. He won our $100 horse race last Thursday. Put that immediately into his entry into the Survivor pool. So shout out to our guy Ricky Levine.
Did you, by the way, see the video of you screaming Ricky on social media? It was really funny.
Oh yeah. I meant to thank you for mentioning that because I didn't retweet. I'd been tweeting like crazy for our poker tournament, and I just didn't retweet that one.
I'll need to go scroll back and find it as well. But it was really good. I still haven't watched the scene, but it puts you in the scene. It was beautiful, honestly. Yeah, I really felt like I was watching the movie.
Very quickly here to our super true story. Says every time I try to deposit bet online, it's a problem. Anyone else experience this? We have it set in Canada. We email transfer like that with no cost, no fees. It's magic. But I do know that in America, there has been a tough time for people using their credit card, and not Flush Allen couldn't be in our poker tournament because of it. Couldn't get money in. And so,
By the way, speaking of our poker tournament, Kongs wants to know, when is our next poker tournament, Jim? I'm hungry now. I'm fiending.
Well, you guys showed out. We almost got to 50, and so we should do one again. I wonder when we should. One of the times we were doing it before was the Friday of American Thanksgiving, but we'll figure it out. You guys,
come on, that's way too long.
Yeah,
I'm fiending, Jimmy. I need it.
You guys deserve. I've gone over that final hand over and over and over again, and over and over and over and over again.
I'm still pissed at Nasty Nate as well.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I mean, obviously, I had a better day, but it was extremely enjoyable hanging out with everybody and doing it. So I'd love to do it again. You do a great job hosting it. But okay, so let's get back. Let's get back to business here with Red Sox Mets. Tanner Houck coming off that great start. Now, it was a 7-5 extra inning win, but he was excellent. 6 innings, no run, 6 Ks, 2 walks. Nice bounce back start. He's been great on the road. 4-3, 2.8. Yeah, Kong, I thought I was being sneaky. It really, yeah, I mean, I've had friends like poker players watch the hand too, and I was just main thing is then no one would have got my bounty, and the double in cat like it's a big difference. But okay, let's roll here on the road. 4-3, 2.83 ERA, 228 points batting average against Tyler Megal. Tyler Megal, whom I don't believe in. Look, I'm happy that he's getting another crack at the show here. The big drip, Tyler Megal. Last start, allowed 1 earned run over 5 1/3 and 5-1 win at the White Sox. I faded him in that start, first 3. That was Friday. Got the plus 140. That was the addition that lost. So that wasn't very, very good. Oh yeah, Amia, I was wondering if, I want you to know that if you were lying about Sharpie, I should have just banned you for life. Now, I'm not going to do that. I'm not just going to call you a liar, but, don't. It is a huge rule we have. Because if you were to say something about Sharpie that wasn't true, that would lead people into a bet. It's the biggest flaw you can possibly do in our show. Just so you know. Now, if you're telling me that Sharpie did say that, and I'll message Sharpie to find out, but that would make that would fill me with rage. So you were lying. Okay. So let's get.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. Tyler Megal, 1-3, 3.96, because that just fills me with rage. You can say anything negative about us and all that stuff, but don't lie. Don't lie and put words into a capper's mouth. Oof. There's a big Ragu in the house, says the game should play to an easy over, can't trust. Because that's been sitting with me for an hour. I was like, did that capper actually lie to us? And that's been sitting with me for an hour because, that is horrific. No, he doesn't hate Sharpie. He was just putting words in Sharpie's mouth. Now, I will message Sharpie, but you just admitted that was, the case. So, there was no Sharpie hate. We all love Sharpie, but pretending that Sharpie said something that would, we all respect Sharpie's angle so much. That would bother me enormously.
Don't worry, I asked.
Remos, you're right. You are not lying. Now you can come up, Amia, with another name and come in here and do your thing. But don't lie when you come up with the new name. Don't come in here and lie. Okay, back to this spot. Red Sox versus righties, 253, 737 OPS. Mets versus righties, 247, 728 OPS. Red Sox bullpen, 6.03 ERA since August 1st when the Mets bullpen, 3.57. I mean, it's the bullpen that's really, really let you guys down. Let's go over the line history here in this one. This is an 8, minus 111 to the under. Opened up minus 101 to the under. 12 cents of movement towards that under. Take a look at the money line here. And on the money line, we have Megal at minus 108. Opened up at minus 101, so a very slight 7-cent move towards Megal. And from a cash flow standpoint, we have 86% tickets, 90% of cash on the over. And on the money line, 64% tickets, 62% of the cash on the Mets. I mean, don't we have an advantage with Houck over Megal? Are the Red Sox bats so meek that they can't get to this, career minor leaguer? Take it away, Jose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna take the fucking Mets here. I really am. It's just disgusting how bad the Red Sox are playing. We've talked about, I think Tanner Houck's fatiguing. He's been pitched well in spots, but I still don't trust it. Minus 113 opener for the Red Sox. And it just steadily climbed down and eventually flips to the Mets. It makes sense to me, honestly. And there's, slightly more bets. It's not like it's 99% of the bets and money on the Mets. So it makes me feel better about taking them here. So, I'm going to roll Mets full game money line. It's just been disgusting to watch the Red Sox. I love Alex Cora to death. Obviously re-signed him. But I find it interesting. One of the things he's trying to do or has tried to do is close the clubhouse and tell the players to show up at 4:00 or whatever, just show up later. Cause it's kind of one of those things, you're there all the time and maybe it wears down on you. But it feels like if it's wearing down on you, that's not a good thing, Alex. I just don't like how the vibes are going right now. So I'm betting the Mets here. Full game money line minus 109.
Yeah, I get it. I'm certainly not going to go up against you. The Red Sox team total over nut flush 3.5 at -133, which feels like a good bet. I'm going to write that down, but I don't know if I move on it. Red Sox team total over 3.5.
I'd agree with that. They haven't had a crooked number in an inning in like 4 or 5 games, but I don't hate it at all. It's been 1 run in innings. That's it.
And -109 here for the Mets. Great to see the big Ragu in the house. Ragu, we love you. We miss you. It's football season. It's Ragu's time. Well, Ragu's just a unicorn cap. He caps it all. So every day is Ragu's time. Every day of the year. And Nut Flush going to build it from 3.5 to 4.5 as well. Okay, well, I'm very interested, and I will write Nut Flush just so I'm... Okay. Jose has moved on the Mets at -109. Let's roll on. Next up, 7:20 p.m. Eastern with the Colorado Rockies, 51-88, 19-51 on the road at the Atlanta Braves, 75-63, 37-28 at home. Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, Brady Blaylock. So it was Blaylock versus Beloso in that start, and obviously Blaylock got lit up and smoked. Oh, Bradley. Sorry, I said Brady. Bradley Blaylock, 32nd round pick in the 2019 draft, but it was out of high school. So we talked about him last week, and he came over from the Brewers organization this year in Double-A. He spent most of the time with the Brewers, so it was Biloxi, and he was good. He was not very good in Hartford, and it was it's tough pitching in thin air. I don't know what to do with him. Charlie Morton's been excellent, and Nutflush just absolutely loved that Megal faced the White Sox last outing. Yeah, he's always been okay at home though. And big bet alert from Kong's Clip. Someone just put 220K on the Ravens at +3. I'll be very interested to see if that skews the number back to 2.5. Very interested to hear that. And I'm sure that will make Troy Torrance happy. Jerry Davis says Baltimore +3 is the play. I'm on the under. That line's been moving against me since I bet it. Unfortunately, 46.5, or it looks like could become a 47. I'm ready to live bet that under too tomorrow night. But let's get into this Rockies Braves start. Charlie Morton on the other side. At 40 years old, he just continues to deliver and eat up innings. 137 in the third innings this year. Last start, 5 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 7 Ks, 4 walks, and a 5-4 loss at the Phillies. At home, 4-4, 3.91 ERA, 266 opponents batting average. Rockies versus righties, 245, 733 OPS. Braves, 242, 722. Rockies bullpen struggling, 5.35 ERA since August 1st, but the Braves bullpen hasn't been great either. Take a look at the line history here. Jose, we have a -275 on the Braves. This opened up at -280. This was moving towards the Rockies. This got down to -257, to 255 even. Wow. So there's a buyback on the Braves, but very, very interesting there. Now back to basically where it started, but clear action on the Rockies earlier. And from a total perspective, it's climbing. It's interesting because this opened up at 8.5 and dropped to 8. That was last night. We know how the Braves unders have been cashing all year long, but now we have an 8.5 -119. Now we have a 21-cent overall move towards the over, and it looks like we're heading towards a 9. Take it away. And Ray Charles on Xavier Worthy, 50 more. I can't wait to hear everybody's action on our live stream, man. That's so much fun going over it throughout the night. But take it away, Jose. Rockies, Braves.
Rockies. Full game money line for me here. +239. Charlie Morton showing signs of weakness. I believe in him. I don't believe in him. I believe in him getting touched, I should say. Rockies, again, I was going to mention that as well. Ron, great timing. Spreadsheet dog for Ron Crawford, +239. I don't think I've seen one that high. So shout out to you, Ron. Rockies against righties from the 15th to today. 101 weighted runs created plus. Not bad. So Rockies full game for me. Gonna get my money back from yesterday.
And what's the line you're getting?
+239.
+239. And if you're rolling with Ron Crawford, you are in good company, money-making company. Let's roll on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. We have the Cleveland Guardians 80-59, 37-34 on the road at the Kansas City Royals 75-65, 41-30 at home. We're at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's get to the weather here in Kansas City. What a fall from grace for these Royals. And the reason why I don't like seeing it is because these Royals, their fans are just so hungry. Now, look, I remember 2016, it stopped us from our run. But, your starving fans were so excited. To lose 7 straight right now hurts. 85 Fahrenheit, 7.8 miles per hour out to left field. But then it becomes mostly right to left action. So the wind is not a big deal. Wager Detective says another under. And BT said, still devastated that Lamar Jackson decided he wanted to be a pocket passer his last time on the field. Love Baltimore, but got issues with Lamar right now. And Jerry Davis says 4 solid starts in a row for Morton. And then to start, he alternated good, bad until now with 4 solid starts. Rod Zawak says Guardians won 8 of their last 9 as underdogs against the Royals following a road win. Great to have Rod Zawacki rolling with us. So let's go. Kauffman Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. Last time Ben Lively started, we cashed that over. And it was a market dictated us moving on it. And Coin saying Kansas City scored 2 runs or less in 5 straight games. Still have good numbers versus versus righties since August 1st. But this is a point where you want to have the last 14 days. So very, very important note, Coin. And thank you for entering the Cappers contest, my friend. Let's get to the weather. Oh, I did that. Let's get to the line history here in this Royals spot. We have, here we go. Poor Royals fans. We have this total at 8.5. It's minus 118 to the over. This opened up at 8.5 as a pick'em and moved to 9 for a cup of coffee around 8 a.m. It's back at 8.5, but it's close to a 9. Still 12 cents of movement towards the over. Is Blake Lively? That's Jesus Christ. It's Ben Lively. It's just that Eric Lively screwed me. This guy screwed me. This guy cost me, I'm guessing at least $50,000. So her brother has stuck in my head. I was in a TV series called The L Word. Eric Lively played my best friend. I won't get into it here because you don't want to talk names, but he got fired at the end of the season. So they called me in and they were like, and my agent was so excited. She's like, I don't know what they were going to tell you. Like, she thought my role had gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And they're like, we have bad news. We fired Eric. And I was like, oh, because I was his best friend in this. So I will never forget how Eric Lively fucked me and cost me a bunch of cash. But we're talking about Ben Lively here. Last start, 4 1/3, 9 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 Ks, 1 walk, and a 10-8 win at home over the Pirates. He's been good on the road all year, but is he dealing with arm fatigue? And Seth Lugo, we thought might be, but he's coming off a great start in the 3-2 loss at the Astros. He went 7 innings, 9 Ks, and 1 walk. He's been great at home all year, and the Guardians aren't hitting, and now the Royals aren't hitting over the last 14 days. Guardians bullpen 3.87 ERA, Royals bullpen 5.42 ERA. So let's go. Minus 127 are the Royals here. They opened up at minus 135. We have a move to the Guardians, and why not? The Royals are free falling, and from a total perspective, we went over that already. So take it away for us here, Jose. Guardians, Royals.
Yeah, I can't back the Royals. I'll tell you that. I'm not going to catch the falling knife. It'd be Guardians or pass for me. But I think I'm going to stay off this game. The market is slightly moving towards the Guardians. Just not enough for me to get there. But like I said, Guardians are pass for me. I do have some, I guess, good news for you, Jimmy. I asked Sharpie, and he said, in fact, I don't bet him, so no clue about Bowden Francis. So that's good news for your bet, at least. But no action here for me. Oh,
sorry. What was that? Sorry, I'm worried that somebody is making fun of our guy Kong's clips.
Well, I was just mentioning that Sharpie's not betting Bowden, or doesn't bet Bowden Francis. So.
Oh yeah, no, we figured that one out.
So I just asked him just to be sure.
So, yeah, because then I no idea to apologize, but it was clear.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna go pee real quick while you deal with.
Wait. Can you back me up? Is this guy because if you're making fun of our guy Kong's clips, we bounce.
I would just bounce him. I would bounce him to be safe, but Yes. By Kongs. Loves dong.
So that's making fun of our friend Kong's clips. Okay. 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 That's fair. That's why I didn't just bounce you. Okay. Why do you have the S on Kongs? Okay. Oh, I'm childish. I'm childish. All right. Okay. I'm childish. Because I have a friend in the chat who's a colleague that I want to make sure isn't being made fun of. That's childish. All right. Bet you have a lot of friends. Because I'm looking after one of mine and I'm fucking childish. Wish I had sharpened chopstick right now. Yeah. You know what? It's too close to making fun. Dong says a dual meaning here. So, fuck. This is just too much, man. Look, I don't want to be a dick here, but I have a colleague in the chat. Your name. All right. You know what? Here, I'm not going to question it. Look. It's too close to making fun of a colleague in my chat, and if I'm being childish or whatever, okay. It's just too close to making fun of a colleague and a friend, and I'm not going to sit here and wonder if I'm making the right decision. I'm just going to bounce you. Let's roll. Next up. Oh, so Scott, I got to stay. God, I'm losing my focus. Shit. And I apologize again. Lack of sleep last night. So with this Guardians spot, I just wonder if I'm leaving. I don't trust Ben Lively right now, so I can just let it go. I wonder if Seth Lugo is the type of pitcher that you want to back right here, right now. God, I'm gonna have to study. I'm sorry, I'm a little frazzled. I'm gonna have to study this a little bit more afterwards. Stephen Fehrenbach says the Royals have owned the Guardians all season. Okay, I feel like Seth Lugo is the kind of vet that you could bounce a team off of this. But do I want to try and catch a falling knife? Maybe I should just let this go. All right, let's roll. And Ron Crawford said he said yesterday we are done. Let's roll on 7:40 p.m. Eastern with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirates 65-73, 33-37 on the road at the Chicago Cubs 71-68, 36-31 at home. And Domingo Germán going up against Shota Imanaga. I just want to say one last thing. There have been names, like pretend names in the chat that I have let go, because I'm trying to figure out if they are, making fun of one of my friends or making fun of or being, racially insensitive or whatever. And I've been trying to figure out, and I don't think I should think about it. I think I should just fucking bounce them. And you know what? Protect the people you care about. That's life. Pirates, Cubbies, Domingo Germán, and Shota Imanaga. Let's get into the weather here at Wrigley. And I want to focus more on Jose's birthday and go back to the joy of this. 75 Fahrenheit, 8.6 miles per hour, right to left, slightly, and stays between 8.6 and 7 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here. Line history-wise for Pirates, Cubbies, we have this total at 8.5. It's minus 115 to the under. Now, this opened up at 7.5. We have that full run move to the over, something that Jose doesn't believe in and likes to bet against. Let's get to the money line here for this one. We have the Cubbies at minus 210. They opened up at minus 197 in a very interesting move towards the Pirates. This opened up, as I said, at minus 197. This got down to minus 182 at 8 this morning. Now it's bounced back to minus 210, but that is very, very fishy. Let's get to the cash flow here.
Your lines are at 7, you said?
It opened up at 7.5. It's now at 8.5.
Okay. Interesting.
And then cash flow wise, 81% of the tickets, 75% of the cash on the Cubbies, and on the total, 95 and 93 on the over, and it's climbed a full run. Jermaine Connolly says Pirates worst road team Wednesdays. There's our guy Jay Peasy in the house. What up, Jay Peasy? Take it away here for us, Jose. Pirates Cubs.
I think I'm going to stay off here. And for those who are wondering, it's indeed waffles here. I'm trying not to get destroyed here on what's today? Thursday afternoon? I don't know what day it is. Wednesday? Who knows? But I'm staying off this game too. It's a little juicy. I typically like the full run movements down instead of up. I don't know. I haven't tracked them, and shout out to Mikey Money was the one that put me on the one.
So we've lost your audio.
I've asked him about it.
Sorry, you're back. Sorry,
great.
You're good.
Okay, I was say lovely, great. But yeah, I'm staying off. Domingo Germán, not a pitcher I want to back here. I feel super square. Oh my God. I almost completely forgot about this. How could I forget about the longest running play in betting with the bag history? I already bet it, actually. I told Matty Ice, he sent it to me this morning, and I bet it immediately. Because if someone sends you a bet on your birthday, you have to bet it, right? So first 5 minus a half, minus 125 for Matty Ice is his taint play of the day. I got it at minus 135. We can make that official for me as well. Shout out to you, Matty Ice, and shout out to Taint, as always.
Wow. Taint play there. I mean, it makes sense. The thing about Germán is his last 2 appearances have come out of the bullpen. His last start was very good. He's back on August 21st, 6 innings, 3 hits, 4 Ks, 4 walks, no earned runs, and a 1-0 loss at the Rangers. You know, this is I completely get your look, and it makes sense. Football bets in the house. Great having you in the chat yesterday. And Joe Yurkovich saying that's a juicy taint. Joe Yurkovich liking this Cubbies first 5 minus a half. Jose.
I feel just square taking it at times with these big favorites, but I said this the other day, and I tracked it at cash. I was a little annoyed about not betting it, so it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense.
All right. The taint, Red Girl, is the Cubbies first 5 minus a half. Jose is on it as well. Let's roll on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. The St. Louis Cardinals at the Milwaukee Brewers. Cardinals 70-69, 34-37 on the road. The Brewers 81-58, 41-26 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And Jerry Davis says, I expect Germán to shove, but not enough to beat Imanaga. Here we go. Sonny Gray versus Colin Ray. Sonny Gray 12-9, 3.96 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, 147 2/3, 179 strikeouts, 36 walks, and 21 home runs. I was on him last start, and I only did it because the market was really pushing me in that direction. And it turned out to be the right move. He was excellent. 4-1 win at home versus the Padres. He went 6 innings. I watched the whole thing. 1 earned run, solo shot, 4 Ks, no walks. On the road, he struggled all year long. 5.62 ERA, 16 home runs. We talked about that because at home he's only allowed 5 and 4 before that last start. Going up against Colin Ray. Colin Ray 12-4, 3.70 ERA, 1.16 WHIP. Last start, 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 in total, 2 homers, 5 Ks, no walks, and a 5-4 extra win at the Reds. At home, 7-3, 3.87 ERA, 214 opponents batting average. Cards versus righties, 257, 723 OPS since August 1st. Brewers, 246, 789, a ton of power. I mean, we watched the Brewers just climb and climb and climb. Fernando Mendoza says Brewers were plus 102 last night. Now they are favorites. Jarek White on the Brew Crew money line. This Brewers bullpen 2.94 ERA since August 1st. Let's take a look at this line history. Brewers right now with Colin Ray, who looks like he's been dealing with arm fatigue. What a huge move from plus 114 to minus 113. Huge move towards Colin Ray. Let's see this total. You can imagine that this total has probably climbed. It hasn't. Wow, it's dropped a half run from 8 to 7.5. Hard to believe if you're watching, Colin Ray. Wow. And then when we get to the cash flow here, 98% of tickets, 96% of the cash on the over, and it's dropped. Maybe 65% tickets, 90% cash on the Brewers. Take it away for us here, Jose. Cardinals, Brewers.
Yeah, Brewers for me. You just mentioned it, the line flipping pretty, convincingly, I guess. So yeah, Brewers for me, full game money line. I don't typically like betting these matchups against these two teams. I don't know what it is. They're very similar to me. And I'll mention Brewers bullpen is pretty used up. Devin Williams threw 14 yesterday. I expect him to be available in a back-to-back role. But we saw Jared Koenig, Aaron Ashby, Elvis Peguero, Joel Payamps, and Trevor Megill all throw yesterday as well. So I don't know. I still like the Brewers. I'm going to take them full game. Cardinals bullpen was just as used up as the Brewers yesterday, honestly. And I'll trust the Cardinals bullpen, I'll trust the Brewers bullpen much more than I do the Cardinals. So Cardinal or Brewers full game money line for me. I've got it at. Sorry, I want to check one more time. -115.
I mean, have you been watching Colin Ray's last few starts? I mean, the market really tells you that that's the right spot, but just a little hesitant here. Jose's on the Brewers at -115. Wow. I'm going to have to stay off that game. It makes me very uncomfortable. Let's move on to the next spot on the board. The New York Yankees at Texas Rangers, Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. The Rangers were very good to us last night, taking out the Yankees, giving the Orioles a half-game lead in the division. And we welcome back the star of Medicate Mondays and the Tailgate and our college football live stream. Please welcome from Dallas, Texas, Daby Cab back to the program. Daby, how are you?
Good. I got to compose myself. Good to go.
Let's roll. Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas here. Strosho versus Eovaldi, two pitchers that we have capped for a long, long time. Let's start with the weather, 76 Fahrenheit, which means the roof will be open. Right? 76.
Say it one more time. I'm almost there.
76 Fahrenheit means the roof should be open.
Yeah, it actually feels great outside. Very, very confused about it. But it's a little cloudy, so make sure there's no rain in the air in the forecast.
5.6 miles per hour in, dies down to 4.5 miles per hour. Let's get into the line history here for Yankees Rangers. This total at 8.5, -115 to the over, open at 9, drop down to 8.5. A couple times, but here it is right now with a half run move to the under. Let's get into the money line here for this one. Money line wise, we have Eovaldi and the Rangers at -103. They opened up -101, just a 2-cent move to the Rangers. So the market not really moving anything in one direction. We get to the cash flow, 56% of the tickets and 84% of cash on the Yankees. That does make the Rangers a little more appealing. A 98 and 97 on the over, and it's dropped a half run. So the market implying that Strosho and Eovaldi are going to have good starts. Strosho coming off a nice start, 6-3 win at home versus the Cardinals. He's been much better all year on the road than he's been at home. On the road, 5-1, 2.56 ERA. Now, look at these numbers. I had to go back and check. I was like, is this right? Because it was so late. 63 and a third, just 33 strikeouts on the road and 30 walks. 33 strikeouts and 30 walks, 3 home runs allowed, which is nice. 258 opponents batting average. Nate Eovaldi, 10 and 7, 3.60 ERA, 1.06 whip. He's been great at home. 3.16 ERA, 195 opponents batting average, coming off spectacular start, but it was at the White Sox. The Yankees versus righties, 274, 820 OPS since August 1st. Rangers is 249, 698. But I wonder if the Rangers feel like this is the biggest series of the year. This is the last, the games are important here right now when they're not going to be soon. We have the Yankees in town. Let's put out our max effort. Take it away for us here, Cabby, Yankees, Rangers.
It's funny that you say that because on Monday I was on Seeger because I said the same thing. I said, you're playing the Yankees at home. It's Labor Day. You're going to have a sold-out stadium. We got the Yankees in town. We got people here. the season's a wash outside of this. I mean, this is it. You got a few other times people maybe show up, but you got a packed stadium here, and people like to play in games against the Yankees or go to Fenway Park and play baseball. It's just, all baseball players will tell you that. And you're in that situation here. I don't know how much I trust Eovaldi. Stroman, great against the Cardinals last time out. But other than that, in August, he had a 4.56 ERA. So he dropped his year ERA down to a 3.81. He just struggled a bit through August, 1.39 whip on the season. And without being around the bush too much, Seager has a 300 average against Stroman right now, just 3 for 10. But he's got, I think, 13 plate appearances because he's got 3 walks here. Let me pull this up. He's got 3 walks on 13 plate appearances, 10 at bats, 3 hits, 1 double. Did get an RBI out of that. And I don't see any reason why Seager doesn't do it again here. You got him in the 2 spot in the lineup. I kind of like the first 5 over also, but I got Seager at -105 over 1.5 total bases.
Over 1.5 bases. Sorry, what was the juice?
-105. Or excuse me, -110. I said that wrong. My bad.
-110 here for Seager. I would bet the Rangers here just because of that storyline of them caring about this series. And I would be pretty comfortable with it, but I don't know if that's enough for me to actually bet it. Why don't you hear what Jose has to say about this one? Take it away, Jose. Yankees, Rangers.
Yep, give me the Rangers here. Full game money line. Nathan Eovaldi, known Yankee killer. 56% of the bets, 84% of the money on the Yankees. And yet, Bet Online opened this -112 New York Yankees and flips it. Yesterday at 5:45, -107. Texas Rangers, and has been there since. The bullpen for the Yankees, by the way, let's update that. I should consider taking them first 5, and by them I mean the Rangers first 5 here. I thought I fucked up yesterday by taking them first 5, or by not taking them first 5, and they came through for me, obviously. Bullpen should be pretty ready to go. Leclerc and Chafin both threw yesterday. And Kirby Yates is not the guy. Has not thrown yet. So those 3 guys will be available. I assume we'll see about Leclerc. And
Leclerc, motherfucker, say it right.
Leclerc?
Yes.
What am I saying?
Jose
Leclerc?
I don't know what you're saying. Jose. It's weird sounding.
So Yankees bullpen, they obviously don't have a closer anymore. Clay Holmes sucks balls. He threw on back-to-back days. He's not going to throw. Jake Cousins, Tommy Canley, and Tim Hill took a dip yesterday. So their bullpen's pretty rested and ready. I'm going to check the first 5 line movement, but I'm going to be on the Rangers here, Jimmy.
Jose slurring.
Man, the chat's been killing me, Jimmy. That's why I had to compose. And everybody in there dropping dong, dong, dong all over the chat. Listen, the only dong we're getting today is a your dong. Okay, we're getting 1 your dong. Other than that, leave the dongs alone. Okay,
there we go. Nobody believes you, Lapita. Whoever you are, so you can keep mentioning it, but nobody believes the word you're saying. So I will keep banning him. And but we don't ban you for just trying to clown our show. You're welcome to do that. So feel free to keep talking. Jose's on the Rangers. What's the line?
I'm going to double up. First 5 full game. Fuck the Yankees. Full game -107. First 5 -118.
-107. And what was the first 5?
-118.
Oh, wow. That's much more expensive. First 5.
Yeah, definitely more expensive. That's why I decided to double up there as well.
Jose likes dong reports.
I do. Raymond Reichart, great question. Is flying into San Antonio cheaper or flying into Austin? I would assume normally it would be Austin, Raymond, but since the F1 is happening there, it might be cheaper to fly into San Antonio, but just know you have an 1.5-hour drive is up there. So good luck. Jamie's celebrating, though. What are you celebrating?
Oh, a big move towards the Jays. Good. Needed that.
Well, I don't know. It didn't pop out either.
I don't know about it didn't, but I don't know about first full game, but first 5 10-cent move that I needed to see. Wow, it's a 5-cent difference at 365. Okay, I'm sold. I'll move on the Rangers. I feel a little nervous about doubling up. Let's just go to batter versus pitcher here quickly.
See what you started, Cab? See what you started? You just dongs all over the chat now.
I didn't do that, bro. You guys talking about fucking
this.
reporting dongs. I don't know what.
You guys just talking dongs.
Okay, let's roll here. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, I just want to do some batter versus pitcher.
We're just trying to see how many dongs the other team has against the starting pitcher, you know? That's it.
I wonder. So, Cabby, I give you we're sitting in Vegas. I give you free I got $500. And I'm like, here, you can have it. I'm rich. We're rolling.
Corey Seager, baby.
You take a side. No, side only. Rangers or Yankees?
Well, then I'd tell you, don't give me $500 with a loaded gun. That's not a fair thing. I got you a winner, Jimmy. You want a winner? I got you a win. All right. If I had to take a side here, Corey Seager, baby. Total? Do I get total, or does it have to be a side?
Side only.
Well, fuck, man. Might as well flip a coin. Rangers
it is. By the way, Cab, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger you if I was eating waffles in front of your face. My bad.
God, these guys have really good numbers against.
I think it's cute that you had to go fucking break your seal already after one White Claw.
That's how that works. And by the way, this Michelob is horrible. Horrible. Lime and prickly pear cactus. Horrible.
Yeah, that's not what I'd go with. Yeah, I'd go with the Rangers, Jimmy. But if you really want to know, ask Jose what I texted him last night about your dong.
You texted me about my dong? Or his dong?
Let's stay focused.
Your dong.
Let's stay focused. Okay, let's roll on here. Jose, we call Eovaldi the Yankee killer, but look at these numbers against them. A Judge with 30 at bats, hitting 400, the 1.105 OPS and 2 jacks. LeMahieu's been so horrifically bad this year, 320 with a 753 OPS over 50 at bats. Rizzo, who can't be trusted, hitting 364. Soto 2 for 3 against them. Stanton has 4 home runs and 33 at bats, hitting 273 with 1,000 OPS. I mean,
I also think that most of these guys saw him at a different point in their careers as well. He's not been good against them as a Ranger in his last two. Well, really his last appearance against them. 3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, and 9 shutout innings against them in his last 3 appearances as a Ranger. As a Red Sox, his last 3 appearances against them were all pretty good. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 6 innings, 2 earned runs.
On the surface, this game's getting sold as a pitcher matchup, and 8.5's not, too high. But when I said, do I have to pick a side, I was going to say first 5 over. I think there's probably some runs in this game both ways.
And shout out to our guy Wager Detective once more. It was a little caught up with other things there. I don't know if I gave you the love for the dono for Jose's birthday. We love you, man. Okay.
Shout out to you, Wager. And by the way, Raymond, definitely do stop by Southtown. If you're there, just shoot me a message, and I'll show up there as well, Raymond.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to be off of it. I'm gonna that's enough to get me off of it. I will cheer you on, Jose, on your double up. Let's move on. 9:38 p.m. Eastern. We have the LA Dodgers 84-55, 39-31 on the road at the LA Angels 57-81, 29-42 at Home Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. Bobby Miller against Griffin Canning. Griffin Canning coming off, not that good of a start, but he cashed me the under. 5 innings, 3 earned runs, and that 3-2 loss at the Tigers. At home. Look, I've taken a lot of flack for my thoughts on Griffin Canning this year, and respectively so. But I have a positive ROI on Canning starts. And Bobby Miller is somebody that I want to fade. But he did look better in his last start, made it through 5 innings against a tough-hitting Orioles squad. But his numbers on the road are egregious. 22 2/3, 37 hits, 28 earned runs, 13 Ks and 15 walks, 8 home runs allowed, 381 opponents batting average. I mean, just horrific. I mean, he's been so bad. And I'm going to, in this Battle of Los Angeles here, this is so my number one angle this year are first threes plus a half with big dogs. It's my highest ROI by far. And I find this one appealing, but let's talk it out. Dodgers versus righties, 265, 796 OPS. Angels versus righties, 188, 607 OPS. Both bullpens have been really good. Angels sort of coming back to earth, and Dodgers has been getting better and better as this August 1st and on has gone on. Let's take a look at the weather first here in this one. 84 Fahrenheit, 8.7 miles per hour to right field. Very offensive weather. And into the line history and the cash flow. Line history wise, the Dodgers aren't that big of a favorite. It's this opened up with the Angels at plus 174. It started moving towards the Dodgers. The Dodgers went from minus 191 to minus 202, but then it came back. And I'm extremely interested in the spot. I'll have to go over exactly what I can get. The total is at 10. So, this opened up at 9.5. I know at some books that got out really early, it was a 9 heavily juiced to the over. And then when we get to the cash flow in this one, we have 76% of tickets, 81% of the cash on the over, certainly moving in that direction. And on the money line, 6% of tickets, 19% cash on the LA Angels. We will start with you, Jose, and then we'll get to Daby Cab. Now, this is not one of Daby Cab's best bets. I just asked him to stick around for this game because he's got the best bet in Tigers Padres. Jose Bouquett, take it away for us, Angels Dodgers.
Yeah, I think I'm off. God bless Walker Buehler yesterday for cashing us at least one of our bets on against him, the first 5-team total. I think he's going to be officially back, so I won't fade him going forward. And Bobby Miller is kind of in that same boat. Coming back and, kind of have to see when he comes back and feels really good about himself. But I think he pitches well here against a bad Angels team. If I take a page at a Cabs book here, I'd definitely consider taking Ohtani props, just expecting him to just keep putting a show in front of his old fans. But I just have ultimately no action on this game. So nothing for me.
If you took Ohtani's props, you'd have to parlay it with the Dodgers to win. Probably, I'm sure they're juiced to shit. I didn't even bother looking at them, but yeah. Well, I guess he's sitting at 2.5 bases. You can't get the 1.5. You can get 2.5 bases, or you could prop build it, go down to 1.5, and then put the Dodgers to win. Hey, look, there's one thing that stands out to me here, and I can cap into this game more, but Angels have lost 9 of their last 10 games against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have covered the run line in all 9 of those victories. Like that's big time right there. Like that's either for me Dodgers or pass. I don't see any reason why they don't win and cover here. I mean, 9 out of the last 10. Offense has been clicking a little bit more lately. They put up 6 runs, and I think 5 of their last. Sorry, I just had this written down and lost it. They've been clicking. They've been hitting, is my point. I know that, the one question mark would be Miller on the road because he's struggled. But we talk about regression. Like it works both ways, not just, not just negative. There's positive regression also. And I would maybe expect a little bit of positive regression for Miller on the road here.
I saw that BJ talking about that Joyce pitch was like 105.8 or 105.9, the fastest strike in Major League history recorded.
Crazy.
Yeah,
he's a sicko.
This is great. I'm locked in. First 3 plus a half at minus 120 at 365. I bet you could get a better line at other books. Angels first 3 plus a half at minus 120 for me. Action for me. You guys are off the spot.
Yeah.
Let's roll on. Next up for us, Detroit Tigers, 70-69, 35-35 on the road at the Padres, 79-61, 38-32 at home at Petco Park in San Diego, California. And you, Darvish, back. Sidelined since May 29th, threw 66 pitches in a sim game against minor leaguers on Friday, had a bullpen session on Monday. And he had a rehab appearance in June 19th. There was a setback. We don't know what kind of restrictions are going to be on you, Darvish, but he is back. Going up against Kiter Montero, whom I love. Venezuelan brethren of Jose's. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 homer, 5 Ks, 3 walks, and 3-0 loss at home versus the Angels. We cashed that under in that last start of his. On the road, he's been better than he's been at home. 4.55 ERA, 276 opponent's batting average. And U's been good at home this year, 2-3, 3.89 ERA, only allowed 5 home runs over 39 and third, 242 opponents batting average. The Tigers aren't hitting, 243, 691 OPS. They had started hitting for a little bit, but that went away. Padres versus Righties, 273, 788 OPS, and both bullpens have been very good. What is Yu Darvish going to give you tonight? This total is at 7.5. It did get up to an 8 at 6:30 this morning, stayed there until 11:20 a.m. Back to a 7.5. We have a 1 cent move to the over. 1 cent move to the over. On the money line here, we have, let's move over here. On the money line, we have you at minus 192. Opened up at minus 180, 12 cents of movement towards him. Jarek White on Detroit +1, the chillest on Detroit money line. And yes, Joe, you're with Dodgers top 3 in lineup twice. Yes, it's interesting you mentioned that, Joe, because the Dodgers is the only fading the Dodgers on my first 3 is my only losing ROI. It's still a positive ROI on the year, but doing this against the Dodgers does not work. But I think there's an advantage with Bobby Miller. I guess. Yeah, I know it's too risky taking the Angels to score first when they don't bat first. But so let's get into the cash flow for this one. We have 94% of the tickets, 95% of cash on the Padres. Is that enough of a market move towards them? Just 12 cents. You have to ask yourself that. And then we have 96% of tickets, 97% of cash on the over. Daby Cab, best bet time. Tigers, Padres, take it away.
Yeah, I love my bet today, so I'm going to be quick and clean with it. I do agree with BJ right here. It is a little bit pricey for the first start back. But the way I'm betting this, it's going to knock that price. Actually, it's going to be plus money here. Look, Darvish is back, and I expect him, even though it's first game back, I expect full form. They need him. They need him to be the ace. They need this guy in their rotation to do what they're trying to do. They just got Fernando Tatis back in the lineup. That's big for them. I think the Padres, are at full strength for the first time in a very long time. I think they should be very excited to play this game in front of their home crowd. I think even though the Tigers have won 7 of the last 10 and they're hitting the ball well, it's absolutely the type of lineup with all the pitches that Darvish throws that he wants to pitch against. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Merrill just to get a hit and the Padres to win the game plus 105. I love my bet. And Merrill's going to show him. He's going to say, even though, Bogarts and Tatis and all these guys are back, he's going to show him, he's that guy. Shout out to Jackson Merrill. He's been that dude.
Jackson Merrill, a hit, and Padres a win. And what was that, plus 105?
Mm-hmm.
Plus 105 for Dabra. Jose Bouquett, very interesting spot with Kiter on the mound. Take it away, Tigers, Padres.
Yeah, I'm off. I need to see you Darvish pitch. The Tigers have been super hot recently. We've talked about them and how good AJ Hinch is the manager. They're back into the wild card hunt semi. I mean, they're like right behind the Red Sox, 4.5 games back, 7-3 their last 10. So I'm off this game. But yeah, I agree with you, Cab. I'd lean your way, and Jackson Merrill, and a rookie of the year, lock that down.
Jackson Merrill hit. I wrote that wrong. Wrote that backwards. Hit and Padres W at plus 105 for Dabra Cadabra. And Jose and I'm off this spot. I don't know what Darvish is going to give you. I didn't realize that Chilla says he's been out for personal reasons. I didn't realize that's been the case.
He's going to be all right today. He'll be all right.
Yeah. Nutflesh says with these two on the mound, this total seems suspiciously low. I'm high on Kiter Montero. I bet his under. I bet a few of his unders, despite his high surface numbers. I get that. Let's roll on. Daby Cab. Let's review action. You have Jackson Merrill hit, Padres win up plus 105. You have Seager over 1.5 bases and Yordan Alvarez over 1.5 bases as well. Daby Cab, interested to see what you have in store for us in college football for the rest of the week. Great breakdowns yesterday with Pistol Pete Loshak. Great seeing you guys back in action together. I'm sure you have that cane handy as well. Right there. Did you pull it out yesterday?
I should have, man. I should have.
It's all good.
I'll pull it out because it's got the pictures right on there. And trust me, I'll knock everything down.
I feel you.
Yeah, well, just know the Oklahoma State, Arkansas Breakdown's doing well. So shout out to you guys and go Oklahoma State.
Boy, you got to be on point on those breakdowns, Jimmy. If you say one thing like just a little wrong, people love to jump it, don't they?
Ooh, do they ever?
Yeah. College. Yeah, well, Cap, we all know college football fans extremely rational, right?
I think I said so. Like for the first one, I said something about Mac Brown's 6 years head coach. Obviously, I was talking about at UNC, but somebody in the chat was like, "You fucking idiot! He's been a coach for a lot longer than 6 years." I'm like, "Come on."
Yeah. Oh no, I've had a lot of it. We have a rich history of abuse on our college football breakdowns. Great job, Daby Cab. Great job. Hope you can join us tomorrow night for our NFL live stream. Come on, smoke a blunt with us and rock with us.
When I get back from my lessons, you guys will still be rolling, and I'll pop on for sure.
I love it. There he is, Dabra Cadabra. Don't forget this Saturday, big time college football action. The squad is rolling. We have that's the wrong one, but that looked pretty good. Sorry, I screwed that up, Jose. You can fix that at some point here, and I apologize. But we have Daby Cab here, the tailgate, and of course we have our big lives. Do games get bigger than this?
It doesn't.
I can't wait. Wine Time breaking that game down today for us. So I can't wait. That's going to be so much fun. So many.
Wine Time's a huge part of Saturdays too. He pops on the tailgate with me for the first part of it, and then he comes on the live streams with me too. And he killed it last week. So shout out to Wine Time. We got some good things rolling for college football this year. It should be fun. So anybody that tuned in, let me know what you like, what you didn't like. We're evolving. We're growing, Jimmy. We're not going to stay the same. We're going to make it better and better.
I love it. Daby Cab, my man. Please support Medicate Mondays as well. Every Monday, 11 a.m. And support Daby on X at Daby Cab. Talk to you soon, Daby, my man.
See you guys tomorrow.
There he is, Dabra. Jose, we move on to 9:40 p.m. Eastern. 9:40 p.m. Eastern. Seattle Mariners, 69-70, 28-42 on the road at the Oakland A's, 61-78, 35-35 at home. We're Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California, and we're running out of opportunities here. It's going to be a sad day when we never speak of Oakland Coliseum in MLB again or in sports in general, sadly. 69 Fahrenheit.
I had to remind Pete of that, by the way, yesterday. He was like, yeah, they're going to be in Oakland Coliseum next year. And I was like, Pete, buddy, I hate to break it to you, Pete.
Sacramento, which is going to be great for the city of Sacramento. It's a
light the beam. Yeah.
Could use the boost. 9.4 miles per hour left to right. 9.4 to 8.1 miles per hour. It's wild. I just stare at the foul area. I stare at it at these A's game. I'm just astonished. I just stare. I'm like, look how big it's so vast.
That's basically what Pete said as well. He was like, yeah, they've got a big foul area that's going to help the pitchers next year. So it's very funny.
No, sir. JP Sears versus George Kirby. Sears right now and these Oakland A's. Come on. It's all in this. Oh, God. Okay. Let's see if I can do this again. Line history not working. Okay. Jose, I'm going to need you to deliver the line history. So I'm just going to set it up. You deliver the line history and the cash flow here. George Kirby, 10-10, 3.63 ERA, 1.11 whip, 161 innings, 153 Ks, 21 walks, 20 homers. Last start, ugly. 9-5 win at the Angels, but another tough road start for him. He's got a 4.17 ERA on the road, 258 points batting average. It's the 17 home runs he's given up on the road, just 3 at home. JP Sears, 11-9, 4.21 ERA, 1.21 whip. His last start, 7 innings, 1 earned run. It was a homer, 4 Ks, 2 walks, 9-2 win at the Rangers. At home, 6-5, 4.70 ERA, 274 opponents batting average. He's been better on the road. Mariners versus lefties, 178 with a 606 OPS. A's versus righties, 249, 741. The A's bullpen is still a little questionable after losing Urseg and others. I have the line history up, but it is not for the right game. Let's see if I can get this here. Here we go. The A's open up at plus 127. That's where they are, plus 127. Let's get to the total here in this. We have a 7.5 minus 113 to the under. This opened up 115 to the under, so really no movement. Let's get to the cash flow then on this one. Cash flow wise, we have 74% of tickets, 76% of cash on the over, no movement. 75% of tickets, 51% of cash on the Mariners. So bigger bets coming in on the A's. Why wouldn't we be on them as well? Jose, take it away.
Yeah, I just avoided the Mariners kind of all year. Well, the second half at least. Minus 135 opener was up to minus 142, back down to minus 139. There, I want to refresh here, but I'm scared my numbers aren't going to come back up here, but they're back. Yeah, so minus 139 opener, or excuse me, minus 139 is what it's at now from that minus 135 opener. I don't know. I don't trust it here. The Mariners, I should say, 75% of the bets, 51% of the money on them. George Kirby has been just not good, like you mentioned, in the second half, and he's one of my favorite pitchers, and I love him a lot, but he's just not been good. 5 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, not bad there, but he followed that, or before that performance, I should say, 11 runs, 6 of them earned against Detroit. Not for me here. I'm not going to back the Mariners for the rest of the season. I'd much rather be on the A's here, personally, but not enough market action, I guess, to get me to move on the A's, so I'm off.
Really? And our guy Cheshire Cat, thank you for the donut, my man. Really, I mean, a no movement situation where 3 of every 4 tickets is on the other side. It's not enough.
No. I respect the bigger bets on the A's as well. That makes me a little more interested. But if it was minus 125 right now, I'd be on the Mariners, or excuse me, I'd be on the A's for sure.
Wow, Mariners are slightly more expensive first 5, which is a bit of a surprise. Thank you, Cheshire, my man. It was great having you in the chat. Okay, I have interest in the A's. I don't know if I get there. I think that I do, though. But, for a Mariners team that's 28-42 on the road, to be this big of a favorite is fishy. Do you find that fishy? Would you, if this line had opened up a little closer to a pick'em, would that be more appealing?
Yes. I definitely think the Mariners on a normal, like if the Mariners were playing well, it'd be minus 150 at least. So.
Okay. We have a Cubs Astros money line parlay for our guy Jolton Joe Yurkovich. Okay, I've got interest there. Let's move on to the final spot on the board. 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Not being on that Zach Gallen, Clayton Kershaw over was tough last Friday. Very, very upsetting. Diamondbacks 78-61, 39-30 on the road. Giants 68-71, 39-31 at home at Oracle Park in San Francisco, California. Let's get into the weather at Oracle. 62 Fahrenheit, 7.6 miles per hour to center. And then there's fog. So there is a marine layer tonight. Zach Gallen and Hayden Birdsong. I've not really known what to do with Hayden Birdsong this year. 5 pitches. He's going to be a good pitcher. There's no doubt about it. This total opened up at 8. It was juiced to the under, and, it moved to 7.5 pretty quick, where it stayed. So we have a half run move to the under. It's not a legit half run because it's juiced to the over, and it was juiced, to the under. Let's get to the money line here for this one. Money line wise, we have the Giants at plus 121. They opened up at plus 125. Very slight move towards the Giants. And when we get to the cash flow for this one, we have 82% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. 97 and 96 on the over. Wow. So the market moving where the tickets and the money aren't. By the way, big Ragoo's action in Reds first 5 plus 120, Mets first 5 minus 110, and Milwaukee full game minus 115. I will copy and paste that. Football bets as I find the Ravens total moving up. I was not happy to see that football bets. I hear you. And the Eagles spread moving up fishy. So let's go. Zach Gallen. He's not being good on the road. He's coming off a bad start at home. On the road, not being bad. 4-3, 4.17 ERA, 251 opponents batting average, being a little harsh there. Hayden Birdsong coming off a 6-0 loss at the Brewers, 3 2/3, 5 earned runs, wasn't great. And at home, he's got a 4.26 ERA, 225 opponents batting average, 21 Ks, 10 walks, too many. Diamondbacks versus righties, 276, 872 OPS. Giants versus righties, 317, 672 OPS. So a huge advantage for the Diamondbacks. Nobody's hitting the ball harder than the Diamondbacks versus Reddies, and Giants have a legit bullpen advantage. Wager Detectives Gallon looks way different this year than last year's sketch. What's Jose Bouquett going to do here? Our final MLB game on the card, Diamondbacks Giants.
Yeah, this will just be an easy stay off for me. I lean Diamondbacks, and the Marine layer makes me lean under more than anything, honestly, Jimmy. I lean under. I think Birdsong could be fine, but I don't want to take my chances against a hot Diamondbacks bats, so I stayed off of it to keep it short.
Yeah, I can understand that. I mean, clearly the market is opening up their arms to anybody who wants to bet the over, and opening up their arms to anybody who wants to bet the Diamondbacks, which obviously makes the Giants and the under appealing. So I'm not going to bet this when the show's over, but I am going to take another look at it here as the day moves on. And Kong's Clips 2-unit parlay of the week: Ole Miss minus 41.5, Louisville minus 28, and Tennessee minus 7.5. That's at plus 581. So let's roll on. And to anybody who thinks that I might have, cut a colleague in the industry or anything like that, do you think that a colleague in the industry would make a new account and come right back into the chat with a slightly different spelling name? Come on. So I think the decisions that were made are sound, and I'm very comfortable with the decisions that were made in the chat. And people will come in and try and mess with us. It's just part of the game, and I've had a lot of it in my 7 years. A lot of people trying to mess, and it's all good.
The sexual ones are my favorite.
That's nice to hear, Jose. It is nice to hear, my friend. Let's review all action, and I don't have a lot. Of action. Let's review all of it here, and then we're going to get into college football with our guy Wine Time Sports, who's off to a tremendous start to the year. I've tripled up on this Blue Jays Phillies spot, and let's just take another look here at it. The first 5 under is now a 4 at minus 105. I got 4.5 at minus 120. I can comfortably sit in that one. The Blue Jays first 5, Jose, are minus 110 now. So I've actually beaten the line move. It's moved 15 cents since the show started. Thank God. And then I'm not saying that these are all going to cash now, but even the first 3 is now minus 120, Jose. So when this show started, I could have got the first 3 at plus 100, which is 15 cents worse, or better depending on how you look at it. And I could have got the Blue Jays plus 105 first 5. So I'm very, very pleased. That's all moving in my direction. I don't need to keep the same concern. I don't need to go into what the capper that we blocked said, but I have got it all copied and pasted because I like the anger at times. I've got some darkness in me, and I like to review. I'm sure they'll come back with a different name. And if they win and I lose, it's all good. It's part of the game. So Jose, correct. So help me if I miss up, because I'll drop your action too, Jose. On his 27th birthday, he's on the White Sox full game at plus 306. Daby Cab's on Alvarez over 1.5 bases minus 125. Jose's on the Marlins at plus 120. I plan on moving on the under 8 in Twins Rays when the show ends. That Red Sox team totaled over 3.5. Now, Nutflesh is going to play it up to 4.5. Jose's on the Mets in that one. That's going to take a little bit more study for me. Jose's on the Rockies at plus 239. Stayed off Guardians, Royals. Taint play today is the Cubs first 5 minus 0.5. Jose's on that as well. Jose's on the Brewers at minus 115. Jose's on the Rangers first 5 in full game, a move I came very close to making. Daby Cab is on Seager over 1.5 bases. I'm on the Angels first 3 plus 0.5. Jackson Merrill, a hit, and Padres win for Daby Cab. The A's interest me. The Giants and the under interest me. I'll have to see if I'm reaching. I'll have to see how this goes at 3 p.m. here with the Jays and the Phillies. Jose, did I miss any of your action, my friend?
I don't believe so. I think you got everything. The double up on the Texas Rangers, White Sox, White Sox, Rockies, Marlins, Mets, first 5, Taint, shout out to Taint, and then Milwaukee. So I think you're good.
Thank you, Clark, my friend. Thank you, guys. Look, it's just part of the battle. But the main thing is the capping, and these guys just try to mess you up so that you get lose your head, things like that. So it's the main thing is to stay focused and keep capping. Jose celebrating his 27th birthday. Stano, didn't know it was your birthday today, Jose. Jose's got a couple wobblies in him. Tori Coker, Sparks plus 14.5. Billy Brisbane will be joining us for the lone WNBA game, Sparks Fever. I'm going to copy and paste that, Tori Coker. We'd love to hear what you are rocking with. Copy that and paste it. And yes, Oldie, I do like, and that, that's probably not a good thing, but I do like holding on to the anger. That's why I always gravitated towards brown liquor. So I felt that it brought out like an angry side, which I kind of like, because back then I was a nice guy. Things have changed a bit. Jose, happy birthday, my friend. You come back and join us to close up shop?
Yeah. I have to go take a shit right now, so I'll see you guys in a bit.
All right. Okay. It's not exactly the transition I was hoping we'd make here on the show. It is time to move into college football. Our next guest has destroyed college this year. Saturate happy for him. Birthday. so stupid. Gotta stay focused here. It is time to talk college football, and we have just the man for the job. Let's pull up our first game so you could see the record front and center. Our guy, Wine Time Sports, has gone 7-3 plus 3.60 units, and he's done much better overall. Those are the 10 games that he's been on with us. He also doubled up on the Hurricanes when that market was moving against him. And I wanted to know if you can add double ups, but just have to be at different lines. And he's just absolutely rolling. Preston Ekdahl says got Miami to pick him against FSU. Lines now minus 12.5. So it doesn't matter if it loses. You're still on the right side. Let's bring on our college football expert off to a tremendous start. I rode the coattails with USC and the under, and I was the thing of beauty. USC, LSU, both cashed. Thanks to our next guest. Please welcome from Los Angeles, California, our friend Wine Time Sports to the show. Wine Time, how are you, my man?
Yes, sir. I'm good, my guy. Good to be here with you, man. Week 2 coming up for college football. 2 weeks out of the way, week 0 and week 1. Ready to get back to work with you, my guy.
And clearly, spending the entire offseason studying college football had enormous benefits for you. Congratulations on your start. For those watching who've only seen you on our show, go 7-3 plus 3.60 units. What are you overall on the season right now?
Can pull that up right here. Let's see. Believe I am 16-6, and we are up. Apologies.
No worries. That's monstrous.
16-6, up 10.4 units to start this season.
An absolute thing of beauty, Wine Time. Let's get to work. You have chosen 3 spots on the NCAA football card this weekend. And we start with Friday night action, 9 p.m. Eastern. We have the Duke Blue Devils, who had a very underwhelming 26-3 victory over Elon, which we'll talk about, at the Northwestern Wildcats. So let's get to work. Northwestern, of course, playing at their new lakefront location. Beautiful, beautiful place to watch football, but it only seats about 12,000. The home field advantage dissipates with the lack of fans. Let's take a look at the line history here. We are going to use BetOnline line history. Anybody looking for a new account at BetOnline, to do it at our site, our website, pubsportsradio.com, and use our promo code, and our link with a promo code PubSports. They will give you a 100% bonus up to $1,000, and it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. Can be cash. This opened up with Northwestern minus 2.5. This opened up September 1st. Then it moved to 3 just 2 hours after the line opened up. That has gone away. We are back at a 2.5. We are back from whence we started. Let's take a look at the total here in this one. From a total standpoint, we have a 37.5 Wine Time. Look at that. It dropped and dropped and dropped. This opened up at 41, got down to a flat 37, got down to a flat 36. Wow. It got down to 36. yesterday at 12:30 p.m. Now it's gone a 1.5 of buyback. That is an extremely low total. Let's get into the cash flow then for this spot. Move over here and let's roll. Let's get this, get my account in. There we go. So we have 30% of the tickets, 30% of the cash on Duke, 70 and 70 on Northwestern. And on the total, we have 42% of the tickets and 83% of the cash on the under. Clear, sharp action on this under. So Manny Diaz got his first win as the Duke head coach. That was very underwhelming, 26-3 victory over Elon. But Malik Murphy looked good, 26 of 40 for 291 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Jordan Moore caught 7 passes for 112 yards. They got very little out of their running game. They ran 27 times for 59 yards. Their longest carry was 12 yards against Elon. They were up just 10-0 at the half. Northwestern comes in off a 13-6 win over Miami of Ohio. It was just 3-3 at the half. Mike Wright, 18 of 30 for 178 yards. He also ran for 65 yards and a touchdown. Take it away for us here, Wine Time. Duke Blue Devils, Northwestern Wildcats.
Yeah, Jim, you mentioned they're playing at Ryan Field here. It's at Evansville, Illinois, lakefront. Beautiful stadium. It's about 12,000 there. You look at Northwestern, the home team first. You look at David Braun. He's turned a 1-11 team into an 8-5 team last year. Really turned this culture around, bringing a lot of the same guys he had last year back. A lot of these guys have been going to Northwestern. They've been playing with each other for a long time. Northwestern's very much a defensive type team. I think both of these teams are. I think Northwestern's going to want to run the ball. Their quarterback, as you mentioned, the Mississippi State transfer, can run it and throw it. He had a touchdown on the ground, 60 rushing yards. Good athlete out there. I do think he's going to get the similar volume this week as well. There are two Cam Porter, running back last year, super elite out of the backfield. He led the team in rushing yards last year with 700. And you look over at the Duke side, they bring in Manny Diaz, coached at Miami a couple years ago. Got the job at a pretty young age for a Miami guy. He is a Miami guy. Ended up losing the job. Took the job as defensive coordinator at Penn State. Made that defense stout over there last couple of years. Got the job here at Duke. And you look at Duke, they go out. You mentioned too, they grabbed Malik Murphy, transfer from Texas, 6'5", 230, really good athlete as well. He can chuck. He's got a good arm. He actually put up some pretty good numbers. It's just crazy when you look at this total score. I didn't get a good chance to actually watch the full tape on this game. It definitely looked like Duke struggled offensively, running the ball. You mentioned they couldn't get anything going on the run game. But you look at Manny Diaz, as I mentioned, he's a defensive kind of guy. He always has been. He can run a good defense. It's going to keep him in the games. And then we're going to look at the total here, man. You mentioned it. Open up at a 41.5. Wish I would have got in on it then. Got in on it yesterday morning about 7 a.m. Gave it out on Twitter at 38. Saw it drop all the way down to 36 by noon. It's kind of been going up. It's back up to a 37, I believe, right now. Maybe even a 37.5. But the main thing I'm looking at this game is both these teams, as I said, are going to play defensive kinds of football and run the ball. Also, you look at the weather. I've been looking at the weather in Evanston, Illinois, the last couple of days, and it's looking like it's going to be the same thing on Friday night. 12 to 16 mile per hour winds, which means they're going to. And this is a lakefront place, guys. It's going to be windy down there. It might even get up to 20 miles per hour from what I've been hearing. At 6 p.m., it's actually going to be 9 p.m. on the East Coast. So, I like the under. I got the under 38. I'm glad it kind of went up to a 37.5. That way I can give it out to you guys in the chat. I like the 37. I like it all the way down to a 34.5, if I'm being quite honest. I like Northwestern this game. I'm not going to take a side on it, but I expect them to pound the ball, and they're good against the run. And Duke couldn't get it going on the run game. We'll see if they can. We'll see what Malik Murphy can do, but I like this Northwestern defense, and I like the wind in this game. I just think it's going to play to the under, and some of these field goals that they're going to attempt they're going to miss, and this game's going to play out to the under. I like it all the way down to a 34.5, guys. So 37.5, 38, whatever you can get, take the under.
Saturated liking that under. Johnny Guns with a question says, would you consider first quarter or first half unders? Robert Franklin also on the under 37. Would you consider first quarter, first half, or you want to focus on solely full game?
Yeah, I'm going to focus solely on the full game in this one, just because I fear that one of these teams might come out and score on the first possession. And if that is the case, I'm getting right back in on the live under because I think honestly, I think Northwestern might score right away. I think they might score in the first quarter. So I might look at another live total, but nothing the first half or nothing the first quarter for me.
Under 38 for Wine Time Sports. Did you get that at -110?
-110.
Locked and loaded, tweeted out. I will retweet that action. Duke Northwestern in the books. Let's move on to Saturday, September 7th, the big one. The big one. We have our live stream right here following the tailgate. So the boys will be watching this one live here on Pub Sports Radio. Number 3, Texas Longhorns. Number 10, Michigan Wolverines. Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor, Michigan. How exciting is this? This is the game this week. Let's talk about the total. We have another total that is dropping, sitting at 42.5 right now. Opened up at 45.5. This got down. This is the low water mark at 42.5 right now. It got there just a little after midnight at Bet Online. Let's get over to the full game spread over here. Sorry about that. Press the wrong button. Here we go. On the spread, huge. Sorry, what was I going to say? This opened up at 4.5. Texas 4.5. Now, this was April 16th. So, this was a long, long time ago. And speaking of which, this got down to 3.5 on July 21st. Early this month, all of August, you could have got this at 3.5. Then September 1st, 6. It's a 6, and now it is a 7.5. It did, go up to 7.5 and then drop back to 7, but we're back at 7.5. So if you want to just focus on the move from September 1st, there still be the move towards Texas. Just so you guys know, we'll take a look at Pinnacle. Pinnacle opened this up on September 1st at 5:55 p.m. They opened it up at 6.5. They have a 7.5 as well. Now that 7.5 is juiced towards Michigan. While we're looking at a different book, why don't we touch on their total as well at Pinnacle? Pinnacle has this total at 42.5 as well. It's juiced to the under. It opened up at 44.5, and this was 5:55 p.m. on September 1st. And 6 minutes in, this goes up a point to 45.5, where it stayed until 10:30 on Monday. Then they had this move towards the under, and the real move to the under really didn't happen until yesterday morning. Let's get into the cash flow for this spot. Let's move over to Saturday action, and here we go. 28% of the tickets and 54% of cash on the under. Clear, sharp action on the under. And on the spread, 83% of tickets and 75% of the cash on Texas, and we've seen it move mightily in that direction. So the defending champs looked quite a bit different. No Harbaugh, no Jesse Minter. Sean Moore led the Wolverines to a 30-10 win at home over Fresno State. And look, he was pumped up. It was fun to watch. Very different vibe over there right now. 30-10 score was not how the game looked. This was 16-10 early in the fourth quarter. Davis Warren and Alex Orji each threw a touchdown pass. All-American Will Johnson returned an interception, 86 yards for a score. Davis is the guy, Davis Warren, 15-25 for 118 yards, touchdown and an interception. I mean, this is a walk-on who, had leukemia. It's a great story. People love him. Colston Loveland, All-American tight end, 8 catches, 87 yards receiving. Kel Mullings, 92 yards rushing on 15 carries for the Wolverines. This is a very different looking team. Very different. 6 offensive linemen from last year's team gone. And these were top linemen, all in NFL training camps. There weren't holes that we were used to seeing last year. Let's talk about Texas. Comes in as a new member of the SEC. Begin their season with a 52-0 victory over Colorado State. Quinn Ewers, 28-27 for 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Archie Manning, 5-6 for 95 yards and a touchdown. Jarek Gibson ran 10 times for 67 yards. Jaden Blue ran 11 times for 57 yards. 11 different Longhorns caught passes. Ryan Wingo caught 4 for 70. Isaiah Bond caught 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Held Colorado State to just 192 yards. Absolutely wild. So that is the situation. We saw a Texas defense look incredible. So the Wolverines were buoyed by the interception return. The Wolverines put up 23 points. Their offense puts up 23 points. against Fresno State and 269 total yards. So what are they going to put up against this Longhorn defense? Take it away, my man. The big one on Saturday. Longhorns, Wolverines in Ann Arbor.
Yeah, Jim, I'm excited for this one. Make sure to tune in, guys, in the chat. Going to be live for this one, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, you look at Michigan, man, coming off, I actually had Fresno State plus 21.5 in that one, so I was able to get the cover. Michigan, you mentioned they win 30-10. Very much wasn't the outcome of the game. It seemed like it was very close. Mikey Keene seemed like in Michigan's red zone quite often, but Michigan, man, they're one of the better teams in the red zone. They have been for the last couple of years. They continue to be. We saw Will Johnson have that pick 6 in the red zone. Guy's a beast over there, man. That guy's going to be a first-round draft pick from Michigan. But, the quarterback plays definitely has dropped off. They're going to go not starting with Alex Orji. That's who I originally thought they're going to go. They're going to go with the other guy, Warren Davis. He's more of a pocket passer, a little bit older too. He's a redshirt junior. He's been with the program for a couple of years now. I do think Orji's going to probably pop in there for a little bit. He's going to run some plays, probably get more carries than actual throws. But look at Texas, man, coming off a big win against Colorado State. Colorado State, man, they were a pass-first team last year, and they passed for a lot of yards and pretty much against every team they faced, and they couldn't do anything against that Texas secondary, man. Texas looking to show something this season, man. Very explosive offensively. You look at the quarterback, Quentin Ewers, man, gets his playmakers involved. It's very much big plays. They don't really take their time offensively. They push the ball and they score right away, or they don't score right away. You look at defense too. Really stout out there on the defensively, playing really well on the defense side of the ball too. Look at Michigan though, man. These guys are always good defensively. They've got one of the better underrated defensive lines, I think, in the country. Honestly, I thought that about last year too. A big part of why they won the national championship. I think that this is very much going to be a smash mouth type of game. I think both teams are going to want to run I think Michigan's going to want to run the ball. They're going to want to keep Quentin Ewers off the field as much as they can to limit the explosive plays. But you know what? They might let him get into the red zone and settle for field goals, because Texas, where do they struggle? In the red zone. Not very efficient in the red zone. Like I said, they're more of a big play, explosive plays, 40, 50-yard touchdowns, not dip and dunk. So it's going to be interesting to see what Michigan allows. You look though, they're playing in Michigan, Texas, a -7.5 now. It's crazy. Against the national champs, which is crazy. Michigan did lose a lot, so I understand, but I'm definitely leaning the Texas side in this one. I feel like I'm a little bit late to the party at -7.5, though. I do think they win this game. I'm going to look at this game a little bit differently. I got in yesterday morning as well on this under 44. I know it's at 42.5 right now, so kind of bummed that didn't get any buyback on that, but definitely like that. I think this is going to be a smash mouth type of game. I think Texas is going to load the box, and they're going to go out on islands against Michigan's wide receivers. And if they do that, I think Texas corners can beat these Michigan wide receivers, honestly. So I'd like to see them do that. So I'd like the under. I like the still under at 42.5. I don't think I like anything more after 42. But I'm on the under 44 in this one.
Under 44 tweeted out. Did you get -110?
I got -110. Yep.
-110. You must follow at Wine Time Sports on X. He puts all his action out there, and he's absolutely crushing. Noli Knows says Texas is too fast for Michigan. Big Ragu says Sarkisian loves the pressure cooker. DC Capper on Texas -7.5. Chase Jay is taking. He likes Michigan money line, but he's taking the 7.5 points in this one. This is going to be a lot of fun. Tom Leach leaning towards Michigan plus 7.5. This is the big one. Longhorn Wolverines.
Sorry, one more thing before you close it out. Someone touched on Donovan Edwards, why he wasn't used too much. He was used. He had over 10 carries. He just wasn't very efficient with them, honestly. And Fresno State had the ball majority of the game. They were moving the ball, but like I said, Michigan in the red zone, very tough to score on. They really put the clamps on in there. They're definitely, I think, the best red zone defense in the nation. So, like I say, if they can limit the big plays for Texas, they can very much stay in this game. I just think talent-wise right now, Texas definitely has the advantage, but I like the under because I just think it's going to be tough to score in this.
Locked and loaded after a 7-3 start to the season here on the show, a 16-6 overall record to start the season. We roll on. Next up for us, 10 p.m. Eastern, Texas Tech at Washington State. We're in Pullman, Washington. What an interesting one. And the perfect spot, 10 p.m. Eastern, late night action for us. Let's take a look at what we're dealing with line history-wise here. We have a very high total. Unlike the first two games that we've capped today, we have a 66.5. This opened up at 67 and it dropped down to 65. Buyback up to 66.5, a half-point move towards the under. Let's get into the point spread for this one from a spread perspective. We have over here, Washington State is 2.5-point favorites. They've gone from dog to favorite. Opened up at +1. Went to -1, then back to +1. This was a +1.5 at 2:54 a.m. yesterday. Then there was a move towards Washington State, a 4-point move, +1.5 to -2.5. That's a brisk move, man. Let's see what Pinnacle did here. I'd be very, very interested to see if they also moved, which would have to be from sharp action. This here, Pinnacle opened this up at -1 for Washington State. This also got up to +1.5. So, and then at that point, Texas Tech is going from dog to favorite. And then there was a move. Now, this wasn't a 4-point move. This was a +1.5 to -1 to -2, which is at where it's at right now. So we only have a point and juice movement at Pinnacle. Not nearly as drastic as what went on over at Bet Online. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this one. Cash flow wise, move on to 10 p.m. And here we go. 89% of the tickets, 89% of the cash is on Washington State. So a public spot, line moving towards them, but very public. And, after what we saw last week, you can understand why. And then from a total perspective, 48% of tickets, 70% cash on the over. So Texas Tech Red Raiders 1-0. But they beat Abilene Christian 52-51 in overtime. Imagine being up 32-14 and allowing Abilene Christian to come all the way back and force overtime against the FCS squad. Ugly stuff. Abilene Christian, and no disrespect to them, but they put up 500 passing yards against Texas Tech. Horrific. Taj Brooks ran 153 yards. Touchdown, 27 carries, 153 yards. Bear Morton, 378 yards and 5 touchdown passes. Let's talk about the Cougars. They come in off a 70-30 win over Portland State. Another spot. Portland put up 449 yards on them. Now, Washington State put up 637 themselves. Mateer threw for 352 yards and 5 touchdowns. Kyle Williams caught 4 passes for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. There's a reason why this total is so high. Wine time, what are you doing here? Texas Tech, Washington State, and Pullman.
Yeah, man. I wish I would have gone on this earlier. I had a lot of fun capping this game last night, actually. A couple different angles on it, but I finally figured out a good angle I like on it. You look at both these teams, man, very much moved the ball very well. They got the ball moved against them very well as well. Texas Tech playing at home, going in overtime against Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian going for 2 in overtime, not getting it, having Texas Tech win. Man, that's not a good way to open up your home opener. But, you look at Joey McGuire, though. He's returning his quarterback. Brahim Morton, he took over the job last year midway through the season, kind of established himself as a starting quarterback. Definitely a gunslinger. Definitely has got some good tools in the tool shed. Can make all the throws you want him to on the field. You can see it in that game. He's making some pretty big-time throws. He's got a really good running back. I've talked about this guy a lot in Taj Brooks. Super explosive, big dude too, man. Ground and pound kind of running back. You can give him the ball 20, 25 times every single game. He's going to get you 100 plus and a couple TDs on the ground. This guy's a beast, man. And then they're heading over to Pullman, man, which isn't a super easy place to play. I feel like it's a little bit of an underrated spot. They fit, I think, 30 to 40,000. They usually get sellout crowds all the time, but, I know it's not a big crowd, but for Washington State, I think it's big. They lose Cam Ward to the portal, rightfully so, guys, a coach. I think he's done a really good job in the portal and recruiting for Washington State. Seems like a really good coach. Seems like the players do want to play for him. He did get some guys to return. He returns John Mateer. He was the backup for Cam Ward the last 2 years, knows this offense very well. He's been in the system. I mean, you could look at him, he's making every play you wanted to him on the football field on Saturday. Give it right. It was against FCS school. But man, he was making some big time throws that I saw Cam Ward was making last year. He looked honestly very similar to Cam Ward when he was at Washington State when they're in the beginning of the season last year. So got the big arm, can make every throw you want him to on the field. He's got that guy, Kyle Williams, an absolute beast, wanted to return for his graduate senior year. He could have transferred somewhere else. He wanted to stay here. It's going to pay off. I think he's going to have a really big season. And you know what? This is going to be an exciting game, guys. Pac-2 after dark now, man. This is going to be an exciting one. I'm going to be looking forward to this one. I think there's going to be fireworks early and often in this, guys. I think the totals, I think it's too low until it hits 68, honestly. I got in on it last night, I believe at 10:30 p.m. at the 65.5 minus 110. It's around 66.5 now. Like I said, I wish I would have got on it earlier, but this total is still too low. It's the highest total, I believe, on the board for a reason. These defenses aren't going to be able to stop either of these quarterbacks, I think. I think they're going to have a field day both ways. I expect this game to get in the 80 range, maybe even higher. We'll see. I think it's going to be hard for both these teams to limit the explosive plays by both of these quarterbacks. A lot of both these defenses struggled big time against FCS opponents last week. So they're definitely going to have to make some improvements. So give me the over 65.5 minus 110 in this one. I'm leaning towards Washington State. I'm not going to get there yet. It's just, I could have got them as a dog and now they're a favorite. So I'm not going to do it.
Locked and loaded for Wine Time Sports, 7-3 on our show last week, and looking for more glory. Over 65.5 in Texas Tech at Washington State. The other spots on the board for Wine Time, he's on the under 44 in Texas, Michigan. And on Friday night, he's on the under 38 in Duke, Northwestern. Please support our guy, Wine Time Sports, at Wine Time Sports on X. Also does his thing over at Who Bangin' Sports Talk. Wine Time, thank you for all that you do for us, my friend. Get that cash. Hope to see you again on Friday. I know you're very busy, but if we can get you, we'd love to have you. And of course, Wine Time Sports, part of our tailgate show on Saturdays and our live stream as well. Wine Time, my man. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Shout out to the Big Ragu. He said Cam looked all world versus Florida. Man, he did. He looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. That Miami team's going to be hard to stop this year. That was one of their. They got Florida State later this season. That's pretty much it. I think Virginia Tech too. This team's going to make some noise. And Jim, I know it was an easy slam dunk for the Ole Miss, but I know you're on that over. But man, did they look good in that game against Furman? Man, Jackson Dart, 500 passing yards. That kid's special. Ole Miss, man, they're going to be a good team this year too. But yeah, Jim, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you. Always a blast to do this with you. I look forward to Friday. I should be able to do it Friday. I don't see why not. And there's a couple other games I want to talk about that I haven't moved on yet. So we'll talk about those. And guys, check out Tailgate every Saturday. Daby Cab, the live stream. Check me out over at Who Bangin', Boston the Sauce on Saturday mornings as well. Follow me on X, Wine Time Sports. I post all my plays. I post them early in the week sometimes. So if you're someone that likes to let them ride, get the better line. I try to beat the lines as best as I can in college football. Give me a follow over there.
I love it. There he is, Wine Time Sports, giving us the goods. We move on to WNBA, and we got a standalone game at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, and we have just the man to guide us to the cash. Please welcome from South Jersey, star of all basketball programming here on Pub Sports Radio, as well as MMA. He's one of the stars of the Locker Room podcast. Please welcome our guy, Billy Brisbane, to the show. Brizzy, what's good, my man? How are you?
That was cabinet. I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. I can't complain, actually, for real. Yesterday, El Boyroy got fucking smacked, man. It was one of those ones, it's a long day where, you just appreciate looking at the sun and just thinking, at least I can say I'm here, right?
Well, you are here. You are with us, and we got a fun one with Sparks and a Fever. Mal on Clark to have 10 plus assists. Torrey Coker backing the Sparks plus 14 and a half. Let's take a look and see what we are dealing with, my friend, and set up the X's and O's and the line history. Move over here, get to WNBA. Thank you for rocking with us. Brizzy will also be here on the program this Friday when we have a big card. I believe 4 games on Friday. Brizzy will be breaking them all down. Here we go. The Sparks coming off a ugly loss at home to the Atlanta Dream, 80-62. Came on the heels of a very impressive performance over the Liberty. Not to be trusted, this group. Not to be trusted.
Can you believe I bet on him against the fucking Atlanta Dream? I was like, we're back, baby. We got the one against the Liberty.
Not to be trusted. But huge dogs here against this Indiana Fever that's captured the attention of all sports fans. 4 straight victories for them, coming off the 193 win at Dallas. Came on the heels of a 19-point win at the Sparks. This team is rolling. And of course, Portnoy feeling very good about his $100,000 bet on the Fever to win it all. Right now, he's being offered $244,000 to go away. Let's take a look at the line history. We have here the line opening up at 11.5. This got up to 12.5. That was yesterday at 10 p.m. We're sitting here at 10.5. So we have a 1-point move towards the Sparks. Interesting that Torrey was able to get that 14.5. This is a 1-point move towards the Sparks now at 10.5. Let's take a look at the total. The total in this one sitting at 174.5. This one opened, and these are bet online moves. This one opened up at 172, climbed all the way up to 174.5. It is juiced to the over right now at 174.5. Bookmaker has moved this to 175.5. That's a sharp book, but Penny also just 174.5 at a pick'em. Let's get to the cash flow. It is a standalone game. Maybe we can get some information here, something that we don't always get with the
we
ticket
get them
count.
for the Fever games, though. I feel like.
Yeah, it's big business, the Fever. 49% of the tickets, 79% of the cash on the Fever, and a 1-point move towards the Sparks. 34% of the tickets and 88% of cash on the over in this one. We got Jimmy Gomez in the house. Jay Go, Smart Money Bets, ready to get to work. And let's do exactly that. Brizzy, take it away. The Los Angeles Sparks at the Indiana Fever.
Yeah, on the surface, it does feel like this is too many points being double-digit favorites here. The Sparks are 11-3 ATS in our last 14 games as double-digit favorites as an underdog. This is the biggest Fever line since 2015. But injuries have really derailed the Sparks season, and they're kind of just free-falling in this last month. The Fever have caught fire out the break, 8-2 ATS in their last 10 games. Best team in the WNBA statistically since the break. These two teams have split this season series so far, with both meetings coming late in May before Cameron Brink's injury. Since then, the Sparks have had the worst record in the WNBA, going 3-14 with an average scoring margin loss of minus 8.2 points per game. There's always caution lane this big in numbers in the WNBA. I feel like the disparity from night to night, from team to team, isn't really that drastic to lay that many amount of points. It's just the Sparks have kind of just like given up a little bit. Like maybe they get up for a national TV game. Is CBS Sports Network really national TV though? I don't really see their defense containing the Fever. So that's kind of where I'm having qualms with this one, especially at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, where the Fever are 9-1 in our last 10 games. And 9-1 ATS. So I went about this a little bit differently than I usually do. We'll start off with the long one first. The first play that I have is the same game parlay. It's a ticket with the Fever money line, the LA Sparks team total under 81.5, Lexi Hall to have 8+ points, Caitlin Clark 3+ threes, and Aaliyah Boston to have 12 points. And we'll just talk about the player props and just the synopsis of like where my head's at on the player props for all of them today, going down the list. Looking at Kelsey Mitchell, she's coming off a season high 36 in her last game versus Dallas. She's been on the craziest streak of scoring in franchise history, leading the WNBA in points since the R-Star break. She's been averaging 26 points per game. She's been obliterating her points prop. With this being an island game, I think there's going to be a little bit more focus and attention, because if you do any research on this game, Kelsey Mitchell is probably going to pop up. And 21.5 points is pretty high. Like I bet on her prop last Wednesday when the Fever played, and it was only 16.5. So, I mean, fuck, dude, that's a lot of that 6 points is a crazy change in about 4 or 5 days. But I'm not going to tell you no if you play the over. It's just not for me today. I kind of like Aaliyah Boston here. Like I said in the same game parlay, but if you wanted to play the point prop straight at 14, I wouldn't blame you. She's good. I'm not a it's due guy. Let's get that started. I'm not a it's due guy, but this is pretty wild because she hasn't really been like in real life basketball. She's not really playing bad at all. It's just she's gone under her point prop in 7 straight games since the R-Star break. She hasn't gone over her point prop since the R-Star break. And scoring wise, it's just been slow for her. She's just been really kind of like the Jokic kind of passing the ball type of thing. It's really been Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark shooting a lot. The matchup is pretty excellent, though. The Sparks allow the most points to centers in the league, and they have the worst defensive rating versus the post. And that's where a lot of Boston's points come from. In both games versus the Sparks this season, she scored 17 points. And those games were with Cameron Brink being in there. And she was like damn near at the top of the WNBA in blocks before she got hurt. And then the other one that I was looking at is Caitlin Clark under 15.5 points and assists at -118. The Sparks allow the third least amount of rebounds to guards this season, and they allowed the third least amount of rebounds to guards since the R-Star break. They allowed the fourth least amount of assists to guards this season and since the break as well. So I think it's going to be more scoring for Caitlin Clark today. I kind of like her 3-point prop. She's had 3+ threes in every game since the R-Star break. 4 for 11, 3 for 10, 3 for 8, 4 for 9, 3 for 12, 5 for 9, 5 for 11. That's really high volume amount of attempts. She's averaging 10 3-pointer attempts per game. Half of her shots in her point prop is really predicted off of her 3-point prop. And in her 2 previous matchups versus the Sparks, the first one, she just went crazy. She had 11, 10, and 8, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. She almost had a triple-double, but they were up by so much they took her out of the game. And then the other one, they lost, and she went 3 for 10 from the 3-point line, but she had 30 points in the game, and it was an 88-82 loss in LA. But the Sparks are the third worst defending the pick and roll. So that signature little fade into the left shot is probably going to be there the whole entire game. So she's probably going to hit some threes. And then the other one that I like was Lexi Hall. She's been hitting so many fucking shots. The bookies finally had to fucking put her on the odds for player prop in her last game, and of course she doesn't go over in the last game. The signature, you throw the player on the sports book the first game, but then nobody wants to bet in the second game. Well, she's back at the crib. This is where role players step up. And while all the attention and focus has really been on the big three of Clark, Mitchell, and Boston, it's really the impact of Lexi Hall. She's been in the starting lineup, and her recent success cannot go underestimated. She scored double-digit points in 4 out of her last 6 games in the starting lineup for the Fever. And previous to that, she only hit that mark twice in the previous last 26 games. Defense might keep you on the court, but scoring the ball makes you in the starting lineup. And her last matchup versus Dallas was horrible. She was guarding Satu and Enrique Ngumbuwale. I like Lexi Hall, but I don't like Lexi Hall that much. Those are horrible matchups. But in this phonetic type of game environment pace, this is a perfect spot for her to get some scoring opportunities in garbage time.
It's a great breakdown, Brizzy, my man. Very thorough. Let's go over the SGP once more. Fever money line, Sparks team total under 81.5. Lexi Hall, what was it for Hall?
8+ points.
Plus 8 points. Yes, saturated. I don't know if they have a shot for the title. Let's leave that one alone.
I don't think they got a shot for a title, but they could make it out the first round. A lot of people think that, like, if you read articles, they're probably going to say take the Sparks double digits. But if you're the Fever, the two teams that you're probably going to play in the first round of the playoffs are either the Aces or the fucking Seattle Storm. You better play fucking home for Game 7 in those series, especially for a young rookie like Caitlin Clark. I think that's the biggest difference. If they can get that 5 seed instead of being the 6 seed, because the Phoenix Mercury look like dog shit. Like they're solidified at 6. If they could like slide in a little bit in there and just because Seattle hasn't looked good. We've been talking about this every time Seattle was on the slate. Seattle won their first game. They covered their first game since the All-Star break. They're like 1-8 ATS in their last 9 games. It's like ridiculous. So like they could easily sneak in there. The Aces have looked like complete dog shit besides Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson's having a historical season and nobody else can put the ball in the back of the basket. So they could sneak in there. Their schedule is fucking easy at the end of the year. Like they're playing the Fever. They're playing the Sparks. They're playing the fucking Sky again. They have the Mystics again. They have like the Wings again. Like they're cakewalking this for them to like get home court. I feel like against either the Aces or Seattle. So we'll see how it goes. But if you took the Sparks, I wouldn't blame you. But I kind of like the under on the total.
Let's add to this. SGP here, Fever money line, Sparks team total under 81.5. Hall 8 or more points. What was Caitlin Clark?
3 threes.
3 threes. And Aaliyah Boston?
Aaliyah Boston 12 points.
12 plus points. And what does that SGP pay?
$5.25 at ESPN bet, but I obviously took some of those legs straight. Like I took a little bit on the other ones that I took were Caitlin Clark to be the top point scorer to be in the game, plus 170. And I also took the Fever. This is the chalkiest one I took, was the Fever minus 7.5, minus 200. That was the number that I had. And I guess I'm going to bet my projection. We're just betting the projection. I thought they were going to win by 8 points. And I think that's probably what happens. It's probably like a 8 to 11 point win. That's exactly where the line's at. I don't think there's that much value on the line, but fuck it. We've been betting the Fever for the last 2 weeks. Why am I going to stop now? I mean, it's now reached the peak where like I don't think there's any value on it. I feel like last Tuesday we're talking about them that's like a plus 5.5 point underdog, and we're like laughing about it. And a week later they're minus fucking 850. It tells you how quick sports betting goes and how much they begin slammed.
Usually it takes longer for the market to catch up, but not in WNBA when Fever fans have been getting paid in full. SGP for Brizzy. Fever money line, Sparks team total under 81.5. Lexi Hall 8 or more points. Caitlin Clark 3 threes. And Aaliyah Boston 12 or more points at plus 525. What a thorough breakdown! Excellent work from our guy Billy Brisbane, who will be back in business with us on Friday. Please support Brizzy on X. I put his Twitter handle or X handle in the chat. Joshua Haywood asking for it. It's at getting_bills_. And of course, the Locker Room podcast up in Adam right now, starring on our YouTube page. What a job you guys are doing on that. Shout out to the whole crew.
What a job you and Troy doing. I was watching last night. We're locked in. We're locked in for NFL Week 1. It's around the corner, and we got some notes, and it might be a squad tail on the fucking Titans.
Yeah, moved on the Titans, moved on the Panthers. I
don't know about the Panthers, but I might let y'all have that. I don't blame you, but that's a teaser line.
I got 4.5.
I think Corey's right, though. You got to throw the teasers into you ain't got to throw a lot of money on it, but you'll be shocked. Like when you're live betting a game on Sunday and be like, you'll see on your bet slips, you'll be like, oh, shit, I have a teaser on this? And then be like, oh, well, boom. That's the live bet I'm hitting.
Well, the total in Ravens Chiefs, as we talked about now, 47. That making me very, very uncomfortable.
Obviously, it's public's going to come in, all the book promotions and stuff like that they have for the Thursday night game. They're going to give you the 50% boost. They're going to say, bet $1, get 100 in. So, I mean, everyone's going to bet the over. I would wait to bet the total until like literally the last possible moment.
Yeah, it got down to 45.5. So when it bounced back up to 46, I thought it was a nice spot. Clearly a mistake. Now we'll be live, and I will live bet this under if there's an early touchdown immediately. We'll see how that bangs out. But thank you for the kind words about Bankroll Blitz. Going to be fun watching Troy. I mean, last year Troy 426 bets, and
I think it's ironic though, because where the season kind of left off last year. Yeah, the Super Bowl, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But like the end of the season last year was really that Chiefs-Ravens game. And this is exactly where we're starting off. I don't see how you guys don't watch the live stream tomorrow because, I mean, emotions, it's going to be like deja vu, like exactly where we left off.
I can't wait. And I'm looking forward to be sitting beside you throughout the entire show. Brizzy going to be starring on our live stream. Brizzy, excellent work, my man. Go get that cash, Brizzy. And any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Yeah, I would say with the switch of seasons, always remember micromanage your bankroll around this time of year because with the switch of seasons and stuff like that, it adjusts the lines for all the different sports and stuff like that. So don't go crazy in the fucking first week of September. Don't be one of those guys that's like, oh my God, I'm down 5 units off the fucking first week of football season because I bet minus 16.5 Florida State. Like, don't be that guy. Like, have fun with this a little bit.
I love it. From our guy, Billy Brisbane. Brizzy, go get that cash. Let's review all action here and bring back the man celebrating his 27th birthday today, our friend Jose Bouquett. Jose, how are you, my man?
Good. Can't complain.
Nice
time.
Let's review all action. Justin McKelvey, double ups. For the stacks play today, the Milkman Colton Cowser RBI plus 130 and Rolls Royce Lewis over 1.5 bases at plus 107. Gerald Jones on the Astros first 5 minus a half. Tom Leach play today, the Royals money line. He's looking to go 3-0 on his plays of the day. Ron Crawford money line spreadsheet dog is the Colorado Rockies at plus 235. Skunk Blasters on the Rangers money line. 9 legacy Diamondbacks first 5 and full game money line. Liking Hayden Birdsong over hits allowed and the Rangers money line and full game over. Joseph Thompson, the fuck your under play today is the Nats Marlins over 8 minus 125. White Sox Orioles over 8.5 minus 110 and Dodgers Diamondbacks over 10 at even money. Alouettes is now -3. I'm going to bet them as soon as I can. Then I tripled up on Philadelphia Phillies, Toronto Blue Jays. I was very, very uncomfortable there for a second. But the lines moved back in my direction, so thank God, just so I can be a little more at ease. But I got the Blue Jays first 3 at minus 115. I got them first 5 at plus 101. And I got the first 5 under 4.5 minus 120. So I feel a lot more comfortable with that. I don't have a ton of action here. Razor Sharp Picks gave us his full Delaware card. Shout out to Razor live at Delaware Park right now. Let's give that. There is Razor's full Delaware Park card. Thank you for sharing that with us. Jose's on the White Sox, full game at plus 306. Daby Cab's on Alvarez over 1.5 bases at minus 125. Jose's on the Marlins plus 120. DC Capper gave us that BYU over 55.5 on Friday night. I'm going to be on the under 8 Minnesota Tampa. Just make sure that hasn't dropped to 7.5. And what the hell's wrong with it? No, it hasn't, but it's now more juice than it was. I'll have to take a closer look at that. That's okay. Jose's on the Mets minus 109. Not plush on the Red Sox. Team total over 3.5 minus 133. I'm very interested in joining him on that one. Very interested. Londo note, we don't have a GFG, my man. Jose's on the Rockies plus 239 alongside our guy, Ron Crawford. Guardians Royals, we stayed off. Taint play today's the Cubs first 5 minus a half. Jose's on it as well. Jose's on the Brewers. Cabs on the Seager over 1.5 bases. Jose's doubled up on the Rangers. I'm on the Angels first 3 plus a half. And Daby Cab's last action, Jackson Merrill hit and Padres win at plus 105. I have interest in the A's and I have interest in the Giants in the under. I'm going to spend more time on that. Wine Time Sports gave us the under 38 in Duke Northwestern. He tweeted all this action out, locked in his lines. I must follow him on Wine Time. The Sweaty Butcher gave us the first surf and turf parlay. Bo Nix over 19.5 rush yards. Jacobs over 16.5 receiving yards plus 250. Wine Time's on the under 44 at minus 110. And Kong's Clips, Texas team total under 26.5. Then Jose is on Tennessee and UTSA. And the Wine Time's also on the over 65.5 in Texas Tech, Washington State. And the SGP from our guy Brizzy is Fever money line. Sparks team total under 81.5. Lexi Hall 8 or more. Caitlin Clark 3 threes and Aaliyah Boston 12 or more points. And Ray Charles can't be rolling with us tomorrow, but I will show this. It's Xavier Worthy 50 plus receiving yards for our guy. Jose, my friend, that is our show for today. Thank you to all in the chat. Saturated, Londo, Bo Jackson, Jimmy Gomez, Kong's Clips, Wine Time Sports. What a great group. Mally Mal, Armchair MMA in the house. Oh, no. Sorry to hear that, my man. Sorry to hear that, Armchair MMA. That sucks, man.
That's a man that's got his priorities straight right there, Armchair MMA. I respect that. Good luck, my man.
Ray Charles, Saturated, Justin McKelvey, Brahma B, Kelly McKinnis. We had Sharpie joining us here. A lot of Sharpie talk in the chat today. Richly deserved. Joshua Haywood rolling with us. Bo Jackson, Abel Alvarez, Ryan Kozlowski, Voodoo Ranger, Chang Kim, Red Girl. Thank you guys. Thank you all. Big Ragu, great having him rocking with us once again. Birdie Coin. Thank you to all of you who have signed up for the Cappers contest. We'll be talking about that all week. And let's go out there and get that cash. Jose, happy birthday, my friend, to 27. We love you, man. You got a ton of love in the chat. Richly deserved. Can you please close our show, my friend, bless our action, and lead us into the future?
Yep, of course. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you all for the birthday wishes. Without you guys, I wouldn't have a job and I wouldn't have a career making, sports content, whatever you want to call it. So thank you guys all for making this all possible. Like I said, all I want as a birthday gift from you guys is join the Cappers contest. It's going to be a whole lot of fun this year. It's going to be a full year of, just grinding and competing against your buddies here. We're going to have the Cappers contest show tomorrow, Jim.
Yes, our first Cappers contest show, 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We have our Circa Millions ticket. The $1,000 entry fee is being paid by our Jeff Slaughter, and all we need to do is deliver.
Yeah, and we have not done that, and we're going to do that this year. And don't forget, again, we've talked about it a couple times, but Harbor Acres Cottages sponsoring the Pub Sports Radio Cappers contest. A beautiful, beautiful little house here. Go to Nova Scotia. Go fly into Ontario.
No.
Saskatchewan.
No, Nova Scotia is the province that you fly into. You fly into Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yep. Fly into Halifax and you just, take a short little car ride over, and it's going to be a great time. So, again, thank you guys for the birthday wishes. And please, if you guys want to wish me a happy birthday, make me happy on my birthday, go sign up for the Cappers contest show.
Let's get it.
Oh, boy. Let's fucking milk these motherfuckers, guys. I'm ready. And Satcher, I just read your comment. Let's worry about splitting these winnings when we get there, you son of a bitch. Leche. Los bookmakers.